And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me, live in the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we got these protests happening over in France. What's really going on? Are the protests valid? Should they be going on? Should they not be going on? We'll talk about that in a minute. And of course, the big news, they're trying to arrest Donald Trump, trying to throw him in the penitentiary, trying to throw him in the gulag, making big rocks to little rocks over some hush money that was allegedly paid to Stormy Daniels 7 years ago. I thought the statute of limitations for these kind of crimes was 2 years in New York City. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, what's racism? I don't know. What is it? What does racist mean? Racist and racism means racist and racism. I thought you could not use the word while defining a word. We'll talk about that whole fiasco in a minute. Also, the Florida Senate says that you cannot allow children to get sex changes and things like that. For some reason, that's controversial. We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, a lot of these Instagram influencers don't live like you think they're living. A lot of credit card scams going on to fund that lifestyle. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. Yes, I am on time. I saw one of your comments before the show started talking about, oh, it's going to be 2 minutes late. He's going to start at 8:02. I'm here at 8:00 on the dot Eastern Standard Time. So thank you for being here yet again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. I see you guys talking about NCAA. I don't watch college ball. I peek in every now and again at some of the games to see what's happening, but I'm not a college ball fan. I've never done a bracket, but I watch occasionally. I might watch a championship game when that happens. I saw there's a feature on YouTube TV where you could watch multiple games at the same time on the same screen. Is it that serious? I mean, good grief. Now, when the NBA basketball playoffs start, I'm going to be locked in, laser focused on the NBA playoffs. But college ball is too many teams to keep up with. I can't really focus. But if you guys are enjoying the March Madness, shout out to you guys. Hopefully you have a bracket that's somewhat intact. It's probably not going to be a perfect bracket, but if it's intact a little bit, then hey, that's a moral victory for you. So shout out to y'all. All right. And we got quite a few things to discuss tonight. First, shout out to the sponsors. Before we get into anything, shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to my websites. You guys know what it is. AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. And if you go to the front page of my website, you can find articles that correspond with each video that I produce. So you can always find my sources. You can always find videos that I can't necessarily post on the YouTubes because of censorship or whatever the reason may be. And if you want to see full videos without my commentary on it, the website is always a place to go. Again, AnthonyBLogan.com. Link for that will be in the description. Go to the contact page on the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact. You can find my email address, my snail mail address, which is my P.O. box. You can also find my social media accounts, my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All that good stuff is right there on the contact page of the website. And of course, as I always say, if you ever want to know if you're being contacted by me on social media or on email or somewhere else, go to the contact page of my website to verify. And just to be clear, I will never, ever, ever, ever ask you to contact me on a WhatsApp or some kind of random strange number. And I will never say, hey, if you contact me, I'll tell you about Bitcoin. I'll tell you about crypto. I'll tell you how to make money, get rich quick. I will never do that. Okay. I'm never going to hit you up on Instagram with a DM talking about, hey, contact me here. You can make some money. I'm not going to do it. Don't get scammed in 2023. We don't have time for that. Eggs are costing $1 trillion per piece. And as a matter of fact, speaking about eggs, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I just saw this right now and I don't want to have it lose me. But here is an article or a headline. I'm not going to read the article, but here's a headline that might scare you. Okay, check it out. Dollar Tree can't afford to sell eggs anymore. Now, I just put it up right now on CNN, but I've seen this same thing all over the place. Eggs have become so expensive that Dollar Tree cannot carry them anymore. Dollar Tree about to be $5 tree. It's about to be $20 tree. It's about to be $100 tree. It's about to be wheelbarrow Dollar Tree at this rate. It's crazy. So, yeah, shout out to Dollar Tree. Shout out to the eggs. Everything's become so expensive. But you know what? You know what's more important than not being able to afford eggs, not being able to afford a used car, not being able to find a house, buy a house, not being able to finance a house, not being able to have a job that pays the bills. You know what's more important than that? Arresting Donald Trump for some things that happened 7 years ago in New York City. We'll get to that in a minute. I don't want to jump straight into the main event right now. I will get to that a little bit later. All right. So what else we got going on? But that was the main thing about the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact. Don't get fooled by any imposters out there. Always verify on my website if who is speaking to you is the correct person or not. Also, go to ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website. Again, ablmerch.com. Check it on out. Also, what we got, patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. Check them out through the link in the description. Also, you're listening to a podcast right now, whether you're watching it live on the YouTubes, watching the replay on the YouTubes, or you're going to your favorite audio streaming platform to hear it, audio only for free. That'd be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, etc. Link for that will be in the description. Or go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. So we got quite a few things on deck for today. And thank you, Philip. Philip says, nobody can impersonate you, ABL. Thank you for that. Not by, hearing my voice. My voice is very unique. But some people, they come up with these fake profiles and they get talking to people and they get a little bit confused. So you guys don't get scammed in 2023. And as a matter of fact, if you think it's me and you think I'm talking at you, say, hey man, why don't you give me a call? Let me hear that voice. And ask them to do my show intro. And see if it's me. And if it doesn't really match, if you're hearing some kind of Indian type voice in the background, Filipino or something like that, it's like, okay. Or some Nigerian prince, African prince. Hello, my son. Hey, this is ABL talking to you right now. If you're hearing that, it's not me, I promise. All right? It's not me. But anyway, I digress. We got quite a few things going on for tonight. Oh, and thank y'all for watching the stream of on Brandon Tatum's channel with Brandon Tatum, Jericho Green, Craig Long, and myself. We're going to try to do those as much as possible. Brandon is very busy with the radio show. He does radio, I think, daily for like 3.5 hours, something like that, because that was Larry Elder's spot, and Larry Elder passed that particular spot to Brandon. Very well deserved, but that takes a lot of his time. So we're going to try to do that as much as we can. If Brandon's available, if we're all available, we'll do the show, and we're going to rotate some of the guests. I think I'll be on most of the shows, if not all of them, and we're going to rotate the other guests. But to everybody that was there, thank y'all. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. We're going to try to do that as much as possible, and we're just going to go in there and just be talking how we talk. Unfiltered, real talk. And we want to have guys and girls on there that is going to give real opinions. So shout out to Brandon. Thank Brandon for bringing everybody back. Thank the whole staff, Sky and everybody else. I appreciate y'all for putting on the show yet again. And if you guys missed the show on Thursday, go to Brandon Tatum's channel, go to the live stream part of his profile, and you'll see it right there. So thank y'all again for watching, and we will be doing that a lot more. Now, let's get into the topics. We got quite a few things on deck. I'm not really sure where to start. Can we talk about the French protests right quick? I kind of want to get into that. I got quite a few videos for you guys, of course, as always. I got quite a few videos, but I want to get into the French protests. Now, you guys tell me, Vincent Harris, please stop spamming. I will ban you right now. Anybody spamming, I'm going to ban you. I only got time. I have no patience. Zero patience. But back to the French protests. So Emmanuel Macron says, well, he's passed it, that they're raising the retirement age from 62 to 64. And the reason why they're doing that is because people are living longer. He may not say that, but that's the reason. People are living longer. When these entitlements, and to be clear, their retirement age raising is because once you reach that age, you're eligible to retire and you are able to get benefits, retirement benefits. So what happened is that when they first came out with these entitlements, people had a shorter life expectancy. So if you were retired at 62 and dead at 70, then it's no big deal. You're not living that long to get the retirement benefits, right? But if you retire at 62 and you live to 800, I'm exaggerating, but seriously, you're living to be 80, 90 years old because of modern medicine, technology, things of that nature. It's like, okay, we can't keep this whole thing going. We cannot keep these entitlements afloat. And retirement benefits are kind of a new thing. When you look at society as a whole, you can't look at society for the past 100 years and for that whole 100 years see retirement benefits. That's more of a modern thing. And again, these things were put into place when when life expectancy was much shorter. Okay, retired 62, dead 69, dead 71. Now you're living to be 100 years old. So what's going on? You know, and exactly, Michael Esparza says 70 is a new 50. They have to raise it because they did not anticipate paying retirement for 40 years. For somebody's living to be 100 years old, and that's happening a lot. It's like, it's too much. So in order to keep the system afloat, what they got to do is either cut the benefits to people that already get it or raise the age, maybe even both. But they can't really cut benefits because you got inflation going on. You got to raise the benefits to match inflation. That's happening here in the U.S. as well. It used to be 65 for retirement. Now it's 67. And it'll probably be 70. By the time I get to be that age, it'll be above 70. It'll be probably 75. So what are you going to do? Emmanuel Macron raised the age by 2 years, and there's been widespread protests all over France, all in Paris. They're protesting. But my take on it is, what's the point in protesting? I don't really understand. You got to do something. And they're talking about, rather than raising the retirement age, what you could have done was just tax the rich, tax the millionaires and billionaires. It's like, what? Tax the rich, the millionaires and billionaires? That's not going to work. They already get taxed to death anyway. And if they get taxed too much, all they're going to do is take their money and leave. They're going to leave out of France altogether, go to Luxembourg or some place like that, Switzerland, some francophone place, and just chill that way. Why would I retire at Champs-Élysées or somewhere like that? I can just go to some Caribbean island where they speak French. I can just go there and be chilling. Or I can go to Africa. I can go somewhere else where they speak French. Why would I stay in France and pay all that money? And really, even if you taxed all the millionaires and billionaires more than what you do now, which is going to be exorbitant in any Western country, you're not going to be able to make up the money that is lost out of these retirement, out of these entitlement funds. The funds are going to be broken. The funds are going to be empty. And people are going to be complaining. Either way, people are going to be upset. If you raise the age, which he's already done, if you raise the age by 2 years, people are going to be upset. If you don't raise the age and the fund becomes bankrupt and people that are currently on retirement benefits cannot get their checks anymore, people are going to be upset. So which way should you go? Having the fund be totally bankrupt or raising the age by 2 years? Which one will have the lower social fallout? I think raising the age is the best thing to do versus just not having it at all. It's simple. But yeah, I mean, I don't really see the problem. People are kind of upset over in France, but it's like, hey, man, and you're going to have the same thing going on here. They've already raised the age before from 65 to 67. It'll be 70, and then well into the 70s by the time we get to be older. As we keep living longer, keep living healthier, that's going to happen. It is what it is. Now, if they keep on letting these drugs come across, they keep on letting the border be wide open, they're going to lower our life expectancy by a lot. But that's going to increase the cost of medical care. People going to the hospital ODing on fentanyl. Well, maybe it won't increase medical care because if you OD on fentanyl, you might die before you get to the hospital. So all they're going to do is just put you in the morgue, toe tag you, and cremate you. But I don't want to get too grim right here, so I digress. Exactly, Jeanette. You can't please everyone. You cannot please everyone. You got to do what makes the most sense for your country. And people are going to be upset, and that's just what it is. You can't please everybody. It's just like the whole thing with Trump, and I'll get to Trump in a minute. But the whole thing with Trump and the vaccines. Now, I'm no fan of the vaccines. I think it's not a good thing that we have that going on. Right when Trump announced the vaccines were going to be rolled out, I was off of, I did not want to get it right away because you develop a vaccine in just a few months. You can't test it on people to see long-term effects. You don't know if it's even going to work. Like you may have the vaccine could be effective on one strain. What about the other strain? And then what about long-term effects? You see all these commercials talking about if you were at Camp Lejeune or if you were on a battleship in 1975, mesothelioma, all kind of stuff, cancer risk. And you see these things happening. At the time, it was all good. Yo, come on, join the Navy. Come on, be a shipbuilder, Newport News and Norfolk. You know, come on Camp Lejeune, drink the water, take a bath, it's all right. And 20 years later, you got cancer going on. So I did not want to get caught up in that situation. And of course, we see the side effects from the vax right now. So people are going to say, hey, man, you pushed the vaccines. Now we got all this stuff going on. It's your fault. But if you didn't come out with the vaccine at all, people would have said, hey, man, you didn't do anything to solve this issue. You didn't care about people. You let everybody die, all this and that and the third. Even if that narrative wasn't true, people would still say it. So you just got to do what is the best thing. Now, if you were to ask me, as far as the vaccines go, the best thing to do would have been to have no vaccine. Just take the damage, take the fallout that comes as a result of not doing the vaccine. That's better than having a vaccine that can become very dangerous and will have lasting long-term effects far beyond Trump's presidency, far beyond Trump's life, quite frankly. Years later, it'd be a legacy of injuries caused by the vax. I'd rather have a legacy of not creating the vax during a time of crisis than creating one that causes problems. So you got to weigh what's the better option. It's simple. Either way you go, you're going to get negative reactions. But what's the best thing to do? And you know what? A little Uncle ABL time for you guys. Gather around the campfire. I learned a long time ago to stop living for other people. I learned a long time ago to just do what makes sense, do the right thing. Even if some don't agree, even if some are going to be upset, so what? You know, at the end of the day, you did the best thing for you. You did the best thing for others, meaning the thing that you think is going to be the best solution for everyone. You were fair. You didn't do a thing to try and please people. You did the best thing in your mind. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? So, prime example, if I was a president, if I was Trump, and I was faced with a decision about the vaccine, and I did the best thing, it'd be the best thing for the American people, even if I would get a lot of kickback as a result. Even if it'd be a lot of negative reaction, I know it's the best thing for all of us, even if not very popular. And I think that's what Macron did right here in France. And again, like I said in the video, I'm no Macron fan. I'm not going to be out here, parlez-vous français, speaking French and all that good stuff. I'm not going to do it. That's just not my cup of tea. You know how I am. You see the American stuff. I'm Captain America. All right. But I got to give credit where credit is due. The thing about me, even if it's a person that I really don't like at all, that I detest, even if it's Joe Biden or somebody like that, I can tell you when they do the right thing. Just like with Joe Biden, people always challenge me when I'm having debates or whatever. Say one good thing about Joe Biden. Okay, here's a good thing that Joe Biden did. You ready for it? Now, a good thing that Joe Biden did was refuse to sell Ukraine weapons that can penetrate Russia's territory, because if he was to do that, Russia would see that as a U.S. arming Ukraine to attack Russia. So the proxy war we got going on, the proxy war we have going on right now is bad enough. That's bad. That's a bad thing that Biden's doing. But the good thing is that he's at least stopping it right there and not allowing Ukraine to directly attack Russia in Russia. The proxy war right now is in Ukraine rather than the war reaching into Moscow or St. Petersburg or somewhere like that. That'd be a whole different level. Now you're talking about Cold War, and not the Cold War part. You're talking about World War, and you're talking about a World War III, and you don't want that to happen. So that's one good thing he did. Although the war itself that's happening right now is a bad thing, and we shouldn't be over there. If Russia wants Ukraine, then so what? Why is it my business? Are they going to take Poland, ABL? So what? Again, what's that got to do with me? I mean, seriously, what's that got to do with me? Is Poland part of the United States? I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, if China was to come invade the U.S., are we going to see Polish people over here? You know, like, are they going to be over here fighting? Like, I'm getting triggered, and I don't want to offend nobody, so I digress. The whole point is, the things that happen over there aren't really our concern. I think we are making it our concern because Russia is a competitor to us. Same thing with China, but we don't have the audacity to try to go fight a proxy war against China. We don't want to do that. That's a little bit too rough. We can try to fight a proxy war against Russia because we see them as a competitor, but they are weaker compared to China. Russia is just a competitor when it comes to oil production to the U.S. So we want to fight them that way so we can have dominance over the oil production. And also, we don't want them to be a nuclear power that's powerful in that particular part of the world. China, we can't really do anything with because they have the population and all the production. They produce everything from insulin to cell phones to computer chips. They have the monopoly on rare earth minerals that go inside your phone. We can't produce phones over here. They make everything over there. We don't produce one cell phone, one computer chip. I don't think we do over here. Everything's over there in Asia, which means China. When you say Asia, you're talking about China. Even if you're talking about Philippines, Taiwan, you're talking about China. Japan might count a little bit, but that ain't no more than the U.S. And the same thing with Korea, South Korea at least. North Korea is also China, but different story. I digress. All right. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And we got a whole lot happening. But final word on the French protests. Shout out to Macron for doing what had to be done. I'm not a fan of his, but I got to give credit where credit is due. I don't understand the protests. I'm not sure what they think they're going to gain from protesting like that. They're not really going to gain anything, but it is what it is. All right. So chips are produced in Taiwan, Netherlands. Okay, well, color me wrong. All right, but what's Taiwan though, for real? Like, what is Taiwan for real? But again, I'll move on. Okay, they make chips in the USA still, as Intel does. It surprised me. So North Korea has 88,000. Is it 88,000 or 800,000? I think I saw that. Hold on, let me see. Let me look that up. North Korea soldiers. North Korea, I think it was 800,000. Yeah, 800,000. So, okay, so here's an article right quick. I'm gonna read the headline, not the entire article. From NBC News, it says almost 800,000 have signed up to fight against U.S., North Korea says. And it says the claim came after a secretive communist state launched an intercontinental ballistic missile. Okay, let's tighten up your editing here. Launch and intercontinental ballistic missile in response to the ongoing U.S. South Korea military drills. Now, how many of you guys really think that 800,000 people voluntarily signed up to fight the U.S. in North Korea? You think that was voluntary? Like, these guys are like, yeah, I want to sign up to be part of the military and die in nuclear fallout against the United States of America? Yeah, I think not. That sounds like conscription or just a random number. So they're talking about 800,000 students and workers on Friday alone across the country expressed a desire to enlist or re-enlist in the military to counter the United States. You think that's correct? I'm not really sure. Even South Korea has compulsive military service. So North Korea most certainly has it. Ain't no volunteering. The word volunteer and communism doesn't really match. It doesn't really match. It ain't no volunteer. They were forced to do that. Or it's a fake number altogether. They just made it up. Yeah, we got 800,000 soldiers ready to fight you. Yeah, they got to fight or die. Look, you're going to be out there fighting. You're going to be out there wearing this outfit, giving you a gun. If you don't do it, we'll kill you. If you don't do it, you won't get a bag of rice this month. You'll starve to death. Yeah, food is hard to come by in North Korea. It's a bad situation. I saw a documentary about North Korea. It's really sad. Like, you can see the difference in the nutrition. Like, understand this. The people of Korea, North and South, are the exact same people. They're not different people. They're the exact same people. But if you look at the average North Korean compared to the average South Korean, there's a big size and height difference. It's like 6-7 inches difference in height because of the malnutrition. They're not eating food to grow them to a certain level, but they are eating that food in the South because, obviously it's capitalist, backed by the Americans. North Korea, communist, backed by what? China maybe a little bit, Russia a little bit, but basically that by nothing. Anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Let me keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's see. Where's my next topic here? What's racism? I could get into that. So there were a couple of clips that went viral. One clip is an old clip that went viral a couple of years ago. I remember that clip. I think I might have covered it right when it happened. But the old clip came back because of a new clip. And you guys know me, I'm a fair person. I'm going to give you the full context and not just a piece of it. I'll give you the full thing so you know what's going on. So I'm going to show the new clip first and then the old clip. So we're able to compare and contrast. So that's fair, right? That's going to be fair. Now, check it out. So this clip was recent. It's gone viral. This has 33.6 million views, and it was uploaded just 4 days ago, March 14th, 2023. Today's March 18th. Now, this person right here is Bethany Mandel. I'm not really sure who she is. I've not seen her before. You guys may know who she is, but she has a book about how woke education has become and how they are indoctrinating our children, which is a fact that everybody knows. We're talking about K through 12, college, public school, sometimes even private school. I saw some woke indoctrination at a Catholic school. Quite a few Catholic schools, actually. Catholic private schools, woke. All right. They're talking about LGBTQ elemental P stuff at a Catholic school. You know, religion has become woke nowadays. Matter of fact, hold on. Before I get into this, before I get into the woke and racist and things of that nature, I have another video to show you guys. I got quite a few videos on deck for tonight, but I'm gonna show you one thing to kind of just tee that stuff on up. Speaking about woke schools and all that good stuff, let me cue this up because speaking about Christian schools. Yeah, so there was one clip I saw from Mike Tide. Now you guys know who Mike Tide is. Christian preacher. He was talking about gay marriage, and he was like, hey man, I don't really know, kind of confused about gay marriage. It was really weird. It was really, really weird. But see, here's the thing about it. This kind of thing is not even uncommon. It's become pretty regular. It's become pretty normal. Right? Let me find it right quick. All right, hold on. Oh nah, I got another clip from that guy, from Mike Tide. It's really beyond PG-13. I cannot play that right now at all. Here we go. Here we go. Speaking about woke churches and Catholic schools and whatnot, let's go ahead and play this. Check it out.
No, honestly, I wish God would have made it so much simpler. It was like A, B, C, or D, like frick. No, I'm serious. As a pastor, like, so what do you think about gay men? I don't know.
You don't know.
So, in case you didn't quite catch what was happening there, Mike Tide, he's a Christian preacher, very well known, very popular. He was talking about gay marriage. And he's like, well, hey, man, I wish it was more simple. I wish God made things just A, B, C, D, but it's not like that. So I don't really know about gay marriage. But doesn't it say right there in the book that you should not lay with the man as a woman if you're a man? Doesn't it say that right there in the book? It's pretty clear, ain't it? Here's more.
And you're welcome at Transformation Church. Trans is in the title. Transformation. You can be.
So his church is called Transformation Church, and he says, "Hey man, if you're trans, you're welcome. Transformation is in the name of the church. It's no problem." Yeah, that's kind of what's going on. All right, so shout out to the guy. I'm not sure who this is. K Dub True, I think that's his name. Yeah, Chris Dub. Shout out to him. That's the guy that's presenting this. We're gonna kind of skip past this part, unfortunately.
Talk like this because they want it to be black and white, but there's some things on this earth I don't have the answers to, and so when I don't know,
it is black and white. Rebelling against the creative order, male or female, i.e. transgenderism, is sin. You know, he doesn't say that any about these things. He doesn't call it sin.
Was a homosexual male the sweetest guy in the world?
Huh?
I mean, had the love that most Christians don't have.
We get the idea. I don't want to offend nobody. I know I'm like right on the edge. I'm right on the edge of offending a lot of people. But let me the point I was making is that a lot of churches, not all, but a lot of churches have become very woke. And that kind of ideology I just played right there is normal. Doesn't matter the color, nothing like that. I see that all over the place in the West. You got woke stuff happening. Now let's go back to what I was getting at earlier here. Now, let's reset, shall we? Let's reset. So, We have two viral clips. This one right here, 33.6 million views, came out March 14th, 2023, just 4 days ago. So this woman right here is named Bethany Mandel. She wrote a book about how wokeness has invaded our school system and is brainwashing your children, K through 12 in college. And while she was on an interview with Brianna Joy Gray of The Hill, Miss Gray was asking her, hey, what does woke mean? And you're going to see her response. And then we're going to get to another video that came out 2 years ago that's kind of the answer to this video. And then I'll give my take on it if you've not seen that after both videos. So check it out.
Of Americans consider themselves very liberal, and probably fewer of them consider themselves to be woke. And so, you know, when we talk about traditional,
what does that mean to you? Would you mind defining woke? Because it's come up a couple times, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
So, I mean, woke is sort of the idea that this is going to be one of those moments that goes viral. I mean, woke.
You're right. You're right about that. Unfortunately, I mean, it happens. You know, it happens to the best of us. It happens.
Is something that's very hard to define, and we've spent an entire chapter defining it. It is sort of the understanding that we need to totally reimagine and redo society in order to create hierarchies of oppression. It's hard to explain in a 15-second soundbite.
Yeah, look, your time.
Of America.
So that was kind of bad. That was kind of cringe to watch. So I'm gonna give my take on what the word woke means, and if you guys have a take on it, y'all let me know in the comments. But to give a quick 15-second soundbite, being woke is doing everything to adhere to far leftist principles and ideology, whether they be within your politics, as far as your policy, or in how you behave every day. An example of being woke would be pushing for legislation that says that children are able to get sex changes. Like, I'm talking about babies, infants, okay, little kids that can't even communicate. Now you want to call them baby, like what they say babies rather than a boy or a girl, a they. This is a baby, goo goo gaga, can't even communicate, but they're transgender. That's the woke ideology. It's akin to Marxism, communism, but it's crafted in a way that's hip and cool and unique. And a lot of it is marketed to very young people. That'll be my definition of it real quick. If she was to ask me that question, that'll be my answer. But what do you guys, in a very short, like just a few words, what do you think, quote unquote, woke actually is? Furthermore, I remember when that term first happened, the term became popular lately because of a song by Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, the guy that had This Is America. Remember that song with the gun and all that? And then also he's in the show called Atlanta. Very popular, very talented guy. But he had the song from, it might have been the Get Out soundtrack called Stay Woke. So then it became popular to say online, I'm woke. And that referred to being aware. And at first it was used to say people that were like super pro-black and into all the conspiracy theories. And I'm woke, I'm aware, I know more than the average person. Then that kind of devolved into becoming a catch-all term for all these far leftist things. Critical race theory, 1619 Project, transgenderism, anything, any kind of diversity, equity, inclusion, all that stuff. A woke person would say that it's stunning and brave for 6'4" Michael Phelps lookalike Leah Thomas to swim and defeat all the actual biological XX women. That's woke, if you believe in that kind of thing being a good and progressive ideology. But you guys let me know what that means in the comments. If I'm kind of right, wrong, or whatever. Far left, progressive. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Unleash the beast. Hold on. Yeah, I think you guys pretty much agree with me. Yeah, I'm reading. Nobody says I'm wrong, so that's it. But again, that's the video that kind of went viral. And there's another video. This is from 2019. No, pardon, 2021. I'm right. I'm wrong. 2021, 2 years ago. This is Ibram X. Kendi giving the other end of a definition that he may not be able to really talk about. And this guy, Ibram X. Kendi, is an activist, right? A diversity activist, a pro-black, black guy. He's so pro-black that he changed his name from Henry Rogers, I think. What was his name before? Hold on. I got to make sure I'm saying the right thing. I don't want to put the wrong name out there. I know his first name was Henry. I think it might have been Henry Rogers. Let me just make sure I'm right. Yeah, Henry Rogers. Yeah. His first name, he was born Ibram Henry Rogers. Isn't that Captain America's name? Hold on. What is his actual name? I don't even know. But anyway, Steve Rogers. Yeah, Steve Rogers. That's ironic. You are Captain America's brother. You should be on my side, sir. Put a 1776 flag up in your house. Do all that good stuff. All right, but anyway, let me go right back here. So this guy is Captain Woke, Captain Pro-Black, and he's always speaking about racism. But then when someone asks him in the crowd, hey, can you define racism? Let's see what his response is.
You talked about the importance of defining racism, but I unless I missed it, which is possible, I didn't hear your personal definition. Is there one that you would offer us? Like, how do you define racism?
Sure. So racism, I would define it as a collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas.
So he was asked to give the definition of racism, and he used the word racism in a definition. I was always told you cannot do that. You cannot use the word you're defining in the definition of the word you're defining. But he used it, and you're going to see the reaction from the audience. And that is Jamel Hill right there on the right-hand side. And they're laughing. Embarrassing.
Sure. A collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas. And anti-racism is pretty simple, using the same terms. Anti-racism is a collection of anti-racist policies leading to racial, anybody want to take a guess? Equity that are substantiated by anti-racist ideas.
Just making up stuff. And this guy's getting big money. This is why I always say to people that they try to say that I'm a grifter or something like that. They try to accuse me of that. It's like, look, if I wanted to grift, you know what I do? I go just be a leftist. It's not hard. I could be a leftist. I'm not even a good actor. But I could be a leftist because it doesn't take much brain power to do it. This guy got on camera and said that being racist means you're racist. And that defines it. And then they just accept that. He'll keep getting booked. He'll keep selling books. He'll keep making a living off of this. You have the brain power of a goldfish. A single goldfish, that's your brain power. But yet you're able to make a career out of being this far left, pro-black, blackity black type person. So if I wanted to really just grift and just do a thing just because, then I'll be over there on that side. I'm being myself 100%. This is me all day, every day. Okay? This is me. I'm not being anything other than what I am. So, yeah, if I was a grifter, it wouldn't take much. Because like I say, you can have the IQ of a goldfish, a houseplant, a sea turtle, Colin Kaepernick's turtle they used to have him play with. Remember Colin Kaepernick came into the league with a turtle? You guys may not remember. Back when Kaepernick was just being himself, or before he had to change into the pro-black revolutionary, he used to be walking around with this big turtle. And so you guys know I'm not making it up. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a picture right quick. Yeah, back before he grew braids as a 35-year-old, back before he did all this stuff, this was him right here with this big turtle. Yeah, that was his. It's like, why can't you just be this guy? Walk to the beat of your own drum. You know, if anybody asked me for advice, if young men ask me for advice, I would like, look, man, just be yourself. Walk to the beat of your own drum. Be the best version of you that you can be. Don't try to adhere to society standards. Just be the best version of you. If you like turtles and stuff like that, then so be it, man. Have your whole yard full of turtles. It's okay. It is okay. Clearly he's got money, he's in shape, so he's not going to be any problem with the ladies. Tell him, hey man, you know what? Let's go on a date in my backyard. Let's feed my big tortoise, turtle, whatever that is right there. Yeah, let's feed my tortoise. Why not? But now, rather than showing that tortoise off, he wants to wear the big crazy afro and play into this whole Angela Davis type character. Matter of fact, hold on. I got to show the Angela Davis clip because that was hilarious. I told you guys about Angela Davis, the activist from back in the 70s, the real pro-black person. And she was told that her ancestors arrived on the Mayflower. I have a video of that.
Any idea what you're...
Hold on. Let me just start it from the beginning. Let's start it from the beginning, shall we? All right, let's check it out.
Any idea what you're looking at? That is a list of the passengers on the Mayflower.
No, I can't believe this. No, my ancestors did not come here on the Mayflower.
Your ancestors came on the Mayflower.
No.
You are descended
No.
from one of the 101 people who sailed on the Mayflower.
Oof. That's a little bit too much to deal with.
For those of you who don't...
So yeah, shout out to CJ Pearson right here. Shout out to my young homie CJ. But yeah, that's got to be a tough pill to swallow, right? But why? Why is that so hard to, like, most people that are here are mixed up with something. You know, if you go back far enough in the family tree, you're going to find a surprise. If you've been here for a long time, been here since the 1700s, 1800s, you didn't come recently, like Ellis Island in the 1900s. If you've been here a long time, like during slavery, go back in the family tree. You're going to find a surprise. If you're a white person, you could look like Pocahontas even. You could look like her and go back in that tree. It'd be somebody, grandmama come out that's not quite white. Same thing if you're a black person. Back in the family tree, it'd be a whole Irishman that come out like my family. Got the whole Irishman, the whole Notre Dame Fighting Irish logo come out of the family tree. So what? It is what it is. Embrace it. Don't be shocked or triggered or nothing like that. Just embrace it. That's part of you. You are everything that came before you and your own path today. So it is what it is. But yeah, a lot of people came over here recently. A lot of people came over like after slavery was over with. So the whole thing about blaming everybody for slavery is kind of silly because first of all, everybody's dead that was around back then. Second of all, a lot of people that are here right now don't have any roots that go back then. So even if you were to blame people for having roots that go back to slavery, a lot of them were not even around back then. You know, I got a hot take. I have a hot take, and don't nobody get offended, all right? You guys are great. You don't get offended at what I say, but I have a hot take. You ready? A lot of your poor white trash were here during slavery. That's a hot take, ain't it? A lot of your black folks live in the hood, and a lot of your poor white trash have roots that go back to slavery. A lot of people that are doing very well came after. Not all, but a lot. Go to some of these small towns, West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio. You think they came in 1930 to go live in some random county in Kentucky? You think that? Or did they go to a big city center like Boston, New York, somewhere like that, Chicago? Think about it. It is what it is. So why are you trying to, who are you really attacking? Who are you really mad at? Are you mad at the recent immigrants? Are you mad at successful people? Are you mad at the history of slavery? Who are you really mad at? All right. You guys know I'm right. So shout out to you guys. You guys, I'm not trying to be offensive or racist. I'm just telling the truth. Telling the truth. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And here's something else. A lot of times, the poor blacks and the poor whites weren't even that much different. If you were Irish or something like that, you were pretty much the same as a black person. You had white slaves, black slaves, and everybody else right on the same plantation together. This is why I have an Irish great-grandfather. Because we were like the same, living in the same community with each other. But you ain't ready for that. I'll move on. We got more topics on deck, of course. We have more topics. Let's talk about the Florida Senate. Let's talk about that. Now, the Florida Senate passed a bill. I think it's a law now. I'm pretty sure it's a law that would stop children from getting gender reassignment treatment, which means sex changes and medication that would aid in the same effort of a sex change, which is not even the real thing. I mean, how does a person have a sex change? Really? Because at the end of the day, you're not changing your chromosomes. XX or XY. There's no medication to change that. There's no surgery to change that. Them big crazy bones and feet and hands you got, Leah Thomas, ain't going to change from a sex change. But anyway, this bill seems common sense to me because I don't care where you land on the idea of somebody being LGBT. I think we should all say that should be a thing that's left to adults to decide what they want to do for themselves. Personally, that's not my lifestyle. I'm not into that, but I'm not going to stop an adult from doing that with other consenting adults. Not my business, not my lifestyle. I'm not into it, but you do you. And you know what? To even worry about adults doing that is kind of a fool's errand because I've been around a lot. I've seen a lot of things in my life. I'm old. I'm not old, but I feel like I'm 38, but I feel like I'm about 88 because of all I've seen in my life. I've seen everything. Maybe not everything, but I've seen some things I wish I could unsee. And what I know is that trying to judge somebody based upon what you think they do behind closed doors, a lot of times it's not even right. People do things behind closed doors, you'd be surprised. As long as ain't nobody getting their rights violated, as long as ain't nobody being taken advantage of, I'm cool. Is it my lifestyle? No, but that's it. Now, where I draw the line is when you get kids involved. Protect children. If you cannot get a tattoo under the age of 18, if you can't drink alcohol under the age of 21 to 18, whatever it is, if you can't do basic things like that, a tattoo, like if you can't drive a car under 16 without a lights, like we have certain things set up in society, certain rules, certain barriers to entry for a reason. I don't think it's wise to have a 10-year-old little boy or girl driving the vehicle on the interstate at interstate speeds. That's not really a good idea. They might even be a good driver, but at a certain point, they're still a child and their brain is not all the way prepared to do something like that. You got adults that are not really prepared to drive. I see terrible drivers every single day that are fully grown that should not be on the road. The point I'm making is if we have these kind of barriers in society that keep minors from doing certain things because we know we got to protect them, I think there shouldn't be a debate about getting irreversible surgery or treatment, puberty blockers, hormone blockers. I said this years ago when I was on Jubilee, that Dwayne Wade's boy is 12 years old at the time. Now he's 15. He shouldn't be allowed to call himself transgender or to go down that road. If you want to be 18 years old and do that, but not 12. Anyway, let's look at this debate, if you will, from a Senate hearing down in Florida. And we're going to see part of the reason why you should not allow children to go down this road. All right. You're going to see why. Let's check it out. All right.
Hi, I was once a trans youth, and now I'm a happy 22-year-old trans adult student at New College of Florida. This is my health care. Ma'am? Okay. Don't tread on it.
Senator Yarbrough.
So this guy just shoots up right in the middle of the meeting. What is he putting in his arm? Is that fentanyl? What is that? I have no idea. Hormones, fentanyl, I don't know what's happening.
Ma'am? Okay. Don't tread on it.
Senator Yarbrough has militarized the Florida GOP into the genital Gestapo. Ron DeSantis wants trans people dead. You are committing genocide.
I grew up in Germany in the aftermath of Nazis.
Okay, so she says she grew up in Germany in the aftermath of the Nazis. Now, I can't really say I'm buying that too much because the Nazis were when? In the 1940s? At the latest, 1945, I think, was when it was over. So, first of all, I don't hear a German accent. You've been in America for a long time. I know German is very close to English. You can kind of go away from the Guten Tag, Adi. You can kind of leave that behind and do a more American accent. I get it. But still, I don't hear any kind of Deutschland in the voice. You don't appear to be 100 years old. You appear to be like about 50, 60 years old. So I don't think you're telling the truth. Did you go up on a military base? Like, what's going on?
And what you people are doing is no different. This is transphobic, it is cruel, and you really should be ashamed.
Now, elephant in the room. Can I point it out without being offensive? I ain't going to ask that no more. You guys are not going to be offended, but check it out. Why are we still wearing the mask in 2023? And I think the mask is the least of her problems, but I digress.
What you are doing by signing this bill is an act of war. The way it is, as it is now, my people will die. And that blood, if you support this bill, will be on your hands.
I'm 12 years old, I'm non-binary. If you put
This person, I think it's a little girl, it appears to be a little girl, but nowadays I can't tell. They be putting little boys on these puberty blockers at a young age before they even understand what they're doing. You know, a little boy might say, okay, I'm going to play with my mom's shoes, or I'm going to play with a Barbie doll. And then the parents like, okay, you're transgender or you're non-binary now. Makes no sense. But they do things like this to little boys. It's child abuse. If you have a 12-year-old saying they're non-binary or transgender, that's child abuse. It's akin to malnutrition or something like that, in my opinion.
pass this bill, many of us will die. I deserve to live as long as all of you. We are humans too.
When I was 2, I wanted to kill myself. By the time I was 15, I attempted to slice my own breasts off.
Okay. Now, can we address the elephant in the room? Just real quick, the elephant in the room. A lot of what's happening here with this whole thing with the LGBT and trans stuff is mental illness. Okay, at a certain point, it was in the DSM. We talking about therapists and psychologists or it was a mental thing. Like something's going on with your brain. Now, obviously, this person right here has some problems. You have a self-deletion attempt. That's clue number 1. Clue number 2, self-mutilation. Clue number 3, look at the face. Look at the eyes. The eyes tell the whole story. When you got this stone cold face and eyes bucked out like that, that is somebody that you're probably going to be afraid of. Okay? It's giving Jeffrey Dahmer. Shout out to all you guys out there that know what that means.
I went to the ER because I was bleeding out.
I'd also like to implore you all to remember that less than a week ago, gun law restrictions were loosened. And anyone who thinks it's a good idea to come and take my child, I dare you.
So this person is threatening violence, saying, hey, you know what? I have a child that's LGBTQ, elemental P, trans, or whatever. And part of the bill that they passed says that if you attempt to give your child these drugs, gender reassignment or whatever, now you can get CPS involved and take a child from you. And she's like, yo, gun laws are loosened. I got my gun. Come and take it, basically.
Every time that I look at you guys in this committee, I realize more and more that you guys want to commit trans genocide.
transgenocide, what are we talking about exactly? What are we saying? Why are they saying that you're going to have trans people that die as a result of children not being able to, quote unquote, transition? Is it because they know that there's a very high level of self-deletionality in the community? Why is that? And furthermore, going through the transition does not really cure that, because there's a mental problem that exists that you're not dealing with. You're kicking the proverbial can down the road. You're not dealing with the core problem. You're trying to mask the problem with cosmetic procedures. You're not dealing with the core issue.
And that our blood is on your hands.
I am the parent of a transgender child who is almost 8 years old, and we are at the beginning of our journey. And what you're doing is taking away life-saving potential opportunity for me and my family.
Somebody said it right there. Why do they all have silly hair? Because they don't understand how to express themselves. They can't. The part of the mental problem, in my opinion, is them not really understanding who they are. So they got to express themselves really crazy ways to try to get attention. A lot of this comes from childhood. No attention, don't know who they are, not being raised properly. That's all. It's a cry for help.
And my family.
Every 45 seconds, a trans person makes an attempt on their life. Meaning,
look at this. I mean, Teen Wolf, what is happening here? Like, this right here is how this person is presenting themselves in the meeting, in the Senate hearing. Okay, how much love did they get as a child? Did they get attention? Were they cared for as a child? You're dealing with psychological problems that you're not going to solve by allowing children to change.
Meaning that one happened every 2 speakers that you saw this very moment. 10 years ago, that was me, and 1 year ago, that was one of my siblings. And tomorrow, it will be the children.
And one thing they all got in common is talking about self-deletion attempts. They all got that in common. Why? Because they got mental problems.
Of people in this room. Your vote on this bill determines if that 45 seconds becomes 30.
So there you have it. Very, very crazy. Florida, that's happening. Now, shout out to DeSantis in the state of Florida, the great state of Florida, for passing this thing. I think it is law now. I'm pretty sure it is. And if it's not, it will be within a very short period of time. If these adults want to do something like that to knock themselves out, if you want to have Mr. Vampire in Austin, Texas, do something like that, then go ahead. It's fine. But little kids, leave them alone, man. It's just that simple. And you got to ask yourself, if you have these adults that want to have children have quote unquote sex changes, what's the end goal behind that? What are they going to say next? If they can consent to a sex change, then they can consent to something else, right? So let's not have that happen at all. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I'd appreciate y'all if y'all looked out for me that way. And we're going to keep on rocking and rolling here. We got quite a few videos on deck for you guys. And yeah, it's just a whole lot happening. It is a whole lot happening. Coping skills. Yeah, coping skills. It's something else. It's a whole lot happening.
Guys, I'm literally shaking for no fucking reason.
Hold on. What's this right here?
Couldn't correct him. I don't know.
Okay, I'm not going to play that one. Somebody just talking about it's ma'am, all that good stuff. It's a mess. All right, let me keep on rolling here. And okay, matter of fact, I have a video to kind of shift gears a little bit. I have a video, and you guys tell me your take on it. Oh, I got a couple videos actually. All right, I'm gonna play these 2 videos, and I want you guys' opinion on them. All right, check it out. So here's some cursing involved. If you got little kids, cover their ears up. But this video is of a person. I guess they were streaming in the room, playing chess, online chess, I think. And this person's dad was in the room. And the person, I don't know if this is a male or female. I can't really tell. I'm not trying to just be like using the proper pronouns. I legit don't know if it's a boy or a girl. I think it's a boy. But who knows nowadays? You got all this stuff going on. but the person is cussing the dad out. Now, I won't play the whole thing because we got a lot of cussing going on, but you guys tell me what's happening here.
Exactly. So what would I say?
Just say my daughter!
Or my daughter.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of my face! Fucking piece of shit! Get the fuck out of here! Get out of my room!
I will.
Get out of my room!
I will.
You don't need to fucking my transgender daughter! You say my own daughter!
Exactly.
Then why'd you say my transgender daughter? Why'd you just say my daughter?
I'm doing my best.
Get the fuck.
Okay.
Get the fuck.
No, there's no reason to scream.
Get the fucking drunk. Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Nobody's hurting you.
Get out of here. I said no.
I am.
Before I call the fucking cops.
So this person, that's probably enough right there. So this person, I guess, is transgender some kind of way. I don't know what's happening. And I guess the dad said, my transgender daughter, and then the person freaked out. Now, I don't know about y'all. But I don't care what's going on. I don't care if you LGBT, if you straight, you crooked. Well, I don't care what's going on. Check it out. If I talk to my dad like that, or my mom, even worse, if I talk to my parents like that, I will be sent to Jesus with a first class ticket. Oh man, me and dad would be in there fighting like De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather. We be in there rumbling, man. Like, what are you talking about? My mom would have tore my head clean off my shoulders. My head would have been like this on a silver platter. I mean, see, now, what do you guys think? How would your parents react to being spoken to like that by you? Now, obviously, this is the dad's house that the boy's in. Like, how would your parents react? Where's the switch? Somebody said, dad's confused, but nah, like, at a certain point, you got to be a disciplinarian. If that was one of my parents, it would never have gotten to this particular point. Cursing alone would have been enough. But screaming and hollering, no way, no how. But see, this right here, this is what I'm talking about. Mental problems. And it's going unchecked by the parents. I'm not sure what the dad is on, like what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the dad, why he's not doing anything, why he's just like, yeah, I'll leave, I'll get out. But that right there, screaming for attention, mental problems, that's the issue. Wooden spoon survivor right here. Exactly. Yeah. Dad's a beta. Hey, that might be it. And I'm not even advocating for abuse or anything like that. But at a certain point, you got to show discipline. Even if there's no physical contact, I would not be permitted to, I would not be allowed to live in the house anymore. I'd be kicked out. I would be on the street trying to like figure out a way to get to my next destination. Period. Holly says, this is the parents' fault. Sorry. I agree. Parents' fault. Boot camp all day long. Yeah, for sure. And you know what? The dad might be drunk, but it don't even matter. You're still the dad at the end of the day. But that kind of goes back to the dad not doing what he got to do. The dad let this get this far. If you have any kind of disrespect from your children, anything like that, nip it in the bud immediately. Because when you don't, you're going to have a bigger problem on your hands later. It becomes worse. And a lot of these kids that grow up like this, they got problems because there's no discipline. They got bad parents. And then they want to have us playing their game, talking about, oh, call me they, them, it's ma'am, all that kind of stuff. They're raging at you, but they're really raging at their father who was not there to provide discipline. And then somebody got to go ahead and knock them, put the paws on them on the outside when they should have been disciplined from an early age. But anyway, I digress. So do we have more videos? Yes. Okay, so this one is a scenario. It's not a bad one. There's no cussing going on. But I want you to tell me what your take is. Now, the caption on this says, my Uber driver wants me to pay him directly extra cash. and there's dollar sign emojis, bag of money emojis, etc. So check out the scenario and give me your thoughts on what should happen.
I don't understand. You already accepted the ride.
I know. Uber paid me $15 for this.
Yeah.
This I'm just being nice to you. Like, for anybody else, we're not gonna come do it to you. They're just gonna keep canceling, and then you're gonna be here stuck. So I'm saying, like, if you want, I could take you, but if you're willing to pay me cash, I don't know if it's that fine with you. If not, I can't do this.
But I'm already paying $80 for the ride.
I know. If I cancel this, they won't be charging you.
But you already picked me up and accepted the ride. Like, I waited for you all that time.
Okay, I'm just gonna cancel it because you don't understand what I'm saying. Uber only trying to pay, you see like this? They're only trying to pay me $15 to drive 30 minutes. It's not worth it.
Okay, but that's not my fault what they're paying you.
All right, I just cancel it. Trust me, you will not be able to find a ride here. I'm telling the truth. I just want to be nice because if I was bad, I was not gonna drive this way. Trust me.
Okay, what are you looking for?
Everybody gonna keep canceling on you. You won't be able to find a ride and like to go all the way down there. Trust me. I'm just being nice. If you want, you could like pay me cash or send it to me. Otherwise, I can't do it with this.
Okay, pay you how much cash?
Okay, I just take 70. Is that okay?
So you guys get the point. So basically, he's trying to say, all right, check it out. I'm gonna cancel the ride, but you could just pay me directly in cash, because if you don't pay me in cash, there's a big chunk that Uber takes out, and I don't want to go that far for a small amount of money. That's what he's saying. And so you guys know, he has a flag up in his rearview mirror from Burundi. See that right there? That's Burundi. That's like Central Africa. It's right next to Rwanda, Congo, etc. Uganda is like right in that same area, right on the lake, right underneath Rwanda, I think, or Rwanda. So African, obviously. Just because you might have been wondering. It might not matter. It might matter, whatever it is. Now, I was looking at the comments. Some were saying, hey, it's not really a big deal. It happens all the time. You know, it's just they want to get paid in cash. They want to kind of backdoor Uber. But personally, if it was me, if I was a single female, I wouldn't do that. If I was just me, I probably wouldn't do it. But if I was a single female, I definitely wouldn't do it, because if you allow him to cancel the trip and pay him cash, now there's no tracking from Uber. So Uber cannot tell where you're going. So he could say, you know what? All right, check it out. I'm going to take you to X, Y, and Z place and then not really go there. Now you're in danger. Also, there's no insurance from Uber on the ride. So it's kind of dangerous. Really, it's kind of dangerous. And it's also kind of a scam, because you should be paying Uber directly, and then you should go through the official process, but they want to kind of just take a cut on the back and do it that way rather than going through Uber itself. Yeah, so but what do you guys think? Would you take the ride? Would you get out the car? What would your concern be? Human trafficking is a concern, absolutely. Not safe. Yeah, Uber, there's no tracking because he's going to cancel the ride. You know, just to be clear, when he says he wants to cancel the ride, he does not necessarily mean he doesn't want to take her. He wants to not have the ride go through Uber, so her money goes back, but she's able to give him cash and have the cash she pays be less than what she would pay on Uber, but he's able to get more. So yeah, walk away. Nope. Scary situation. I would cancel and get out. Get out quickly. No way. Everybody saying no, no, no. Yeah. Definitely, if you're able to be armed, be armed. But see, a lot of times people, and you know what? They do that in taxis too. People say taxis, they do that in taxis too sometimes. And people say you should be armed. I agree with that. But sometimes you're getting a ride from the airport. Like, let's say you are a single female traveling, or even a regular person traveling. You may not necessarily be able to bring your gun through TSA. You can bring your gun through TSA, but that's not always what happens. People just travel. They don't bring their gun with them. So they're not able to be armed. They're just kind of out there. you know, and then they get tied up like this. Complaint to Uber, yeah. Wow, Mark Demo says Uber charged me $5 when the driver canceled. So the driver canceled on you, and then they still charge you. How they gonna charge you for the driver canceling? It's like, what in the world is that? I didn't even get to get on they canceled on me. That's crazy. That's totally crazy. Yeah, you know what? Uber, I take Lyft usually. I'm not sure if it's different or not, but I've just had better experiences with that app. But I typically try to get a rental car. When I travel, I try to get a rental car if possible. But sometimes you might be in the city environment, parking is scarce, you take an Uber. Even sometimes when I may go to Nashville, Atlanta, when I drive down there, it's been times where I've driven to a place and still Uber because of the parking. You know, but definitely I don't feel like I'm ever in danger in the Uber. But single women, I know it can be rough. I've heard that a lot. A lot of women don't like Ubers. It's scary. They don't know where they're going. So stuff like that, I think you guys would pretty much avoid. I recommend if that happens to you, don't even do it. Don't even do it. Speaking about driving and Ubers and going places, take a look at this video right here. I just happen to have it. So the caption says, bodyguards, Kim Jong-un's private bodyguards jogging in suits alongside his limo during talks with South Korea. Check it out. So they're literally, the bodyguards are literally jogging alongside the limo as it's driving. Now, jogging is kind of used here loosely. They're almost like running because that limo's going like 25 miles an hour down the road to the DMZ. Yeah, they kind of running really with suits and hard bottoms on. Yeah, South Korea is the North is an interesting place. The South is also kind of interesting. That culture infused with American Western type culture is different. And then the North infused with that communist Russia culture, communist China culture is interesting as well. So yeah, that'd be a good Uber right there. If you had your own bodyguards jogging alongside you and your own personal driver, that'd be great if you could have that. But unfortunately, us regular people do not have access to that necessarily. We don't really have that going on. We just gotta, take our risks out there. Human shields, absolutely. You know what it is. You know the vibes. Except for that windshield. Hopefully the windshield was bulletproof because ain't nobody jogging in the front of that. But hey, yeah, they were driving fast. It's like, wait a minute. I'm jogging alongside. I'm running at this point. I am running. Hard bottoms. Oh, their feet are on fire. Their feet are on fire. And my question is, how long were they jogging? Did they jog from Pyongyang all the way down to the DMZ? I doubt it, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, how long of a jog was that? Was it only for their camera? Were they all in the limo? Were they in a different car? How did they even get right there? Anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Yeah, get them hoverboard, scooters, the little unicycle things. I forget what they're called. You know what I'm talking about. Those Paul Blart Mall Cop vehicles. Get them that and be alongside the vehicle that way. I think that'll work out pretty well. Yeah, my knees are killing me too, for real. Just watching that, my knees are on fire as well. And what else we got going on? So Trump could be arrested in New York coming up this Tuesday, like in a couple days. Here's my question. Do you guys think, thank you for that, Dan Clifton, the segues. I know it's the Paul Blart vehicle. That's what I was trying to say. But here's my question to you guys. Do you think that Trump will be arrested? Yay or nay? Matter of fact, let's do a poll. Do you think, hold on, let me cue it up right quick. The poll is, you put the question in here. Do you think Trump will be arrested? And the answers would be yes or no. Y'all let me know. I'll put this poll right here in the chat right now. All right. Do you think Trump will be arrested? Yes or no? That's a poll right there. Let me know. Y'all please participate in the y'all vote. Use your right to vote. Let me know what's going on. I'm sorry for the poll being right here on the screen. That'll be there for a while. It is what it is. It'll probably go away in a little bit after we get done with the poll. So check it out. Here's what's going on with Trump, right? When I say they, I mean Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan District Attorney. Alvin Bragg is trying to charge Trump and the whole Stormy Daniels thing. This is, when you're talking about a long shot and a reach, this is the definition of a long shot and a reach. So check it out. Alvin Bragg says, before I get into that, the Stormy Daniels thing, let's talk about that for a moment. Then I get into Alvin Bragg and everything else. So the allegation is that Trump paid Stormy Daniels hush money to the tune of $130,000 7 years ago. Now, a couple of things. Hush money in itself is no crime. At best, it's misdemeanor because of the way that it was doled out. Well, the hush money is no crime. You could pay somebody some money for whatever you want to pay them money for. Like if I gave somebody $130,000, I can do that. It's called a gift. I can give gifts. Now they might want me to pay taxes on my gift, and they may want me to declare who I gave the gift to. If I do something like that, maybe. But giving the money is no crime in giving money to somebody. You can give charitably. You could just take money out of your account and throw it in the air. You could take money out of your account and burn it. You could do whatever you want. It's your money. Now, if you're going to buy drugs, like if you're buying drugs or guns illegally, that's a different story. But you can give money away for whatever reason you want. If you give money to a person for a particular thing that's illegal, that might be in the weird space. But giving money, even if it was for hush money, is not illegal. That's the first thing. They're saying that Trump did this to Stormy Daniels. Now, they're trying to say it's illegal because of the way that the money was allegedly given. Now, Trump denies this all the way around. He says he didn't do it, but they're saying he did. They're saying that he did not declare that properly in his taxes, and that is a misdemeanor. The problem is there is statute of limitations in New York for misdemeanors. It's 2 years. So this happened many years ago, like during the 2016 election years ago, like about 7 years ago, 8 years ago, a long time ago. So even if it was a misdemeanor, we're past statute of limitations, which is 2 years. We're too late for that. They're trying to say this was a felony because Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer, did already plead guilty in the Stormy Daniels case. Michael Cohen says that he paid Stormy Daniels and Trump paid him back. So basically, the story goes, Michael Cohen paid her $130,000. He invoices Trump for the money. Trump, through his business, reimburses Cohen. That's the allegation. Now, they're trying to say it could be a campaign finance violation because they're trying to say that Trump did that because he wanted to influence the election. And by a weird way, that is some kind of campaign finance violation. And if that is proven in court, that'd be a felony, and that'd be enough for the indictment, for the penitentiary time if he gets found guilty. Now you're talking about a reach. That is a super reach. First of all, you got to be able to prove that Trump knew. You got to prove that Trump approved the payment to Cohen through his businesses. You got to prove that he approved the payment and the payment was given for hush money. Then you got to prove that the hush money was for an attempt to influence the election. You got to prove all those things. Now, are they going to be able to do it? I think not. Can he even get them on a misdemeanor? Nope, because you passed statute of limitations. You can't get them on anything. It's useless. The only reason why they're doing it is because they want to try and taint Trump before the 2024 election. But in my humble opinion, if we see Trump do a perp walk, if we see Trump in handcuffs, if we see him go to the building, Manhattan, get fingerprinted, all that good stuff, and come outside and then talk to the media, that would be the biggest commercial you can get right now. That'd be a huge commercial. That would put him in the front seat for the 2024 presidential election. That'd put him right there in the front seat to get the nomination from the Republican Party, because he galvanized the base. It's like, look, he has a big audience of people that support him vehemently. He's going to gain more because it's like, yo, this is a dog and pony show. They're trying to just mess with him. People that may not like Trump on the right are going to defend him. You're going to have people like Pence defend him. Everybody on the right will defend him because they may not like him. They may think he's brash or whatever. They're going to say that he's being targeted unfairly. And if this is allowed to happen, it'll just create a domino effect. Okay, you want to arrest Trump? Let's arrest Biden. Although he should be arrested. 10 for the big guy. Your son getting high, smoking crack anyway. They're going to try to get everybody indicted on ticky-tack little stuff like this. So would our be a banana republic, locking out your political opponents, declaring that this party over here shouldn't be in power and locking them up? Is that what we're going to do? Do we have a USA anymore? What's going on? So I think that this is obvious what's going on. It's a way for Alvin Bragg to do the bidding of the Democratic Party and for him to get his name up there more. The same thing that is happening in Georgia with Fani Willis. I've said her name before. Fani Willis, she is the Fulton County District Attorney. She is currently dealing with these rappers out there and these guys on social media breaking into houses and cars and whatnot. She's doing a okay job dealing with these people, trying to get Young Thug and these random people off the streets. Okay, cool, great. But her next thing is trying to indict Trump for election interference because he called Brad Roethlisberger, the guy down there with the election in Fulton County, allegedly trying to get him to, quote unquote, overturn the election and go in his favor. So they want to indict him on that. Again, nothing burger. There may be more there than Stormy Daniels, but still a nothing burger. If you call somebody and you have a concern or a grievance, you got to be able to prove that that was him trying to force or coerce or manipulate them into changing the election for you, rather than just being the concerned citizen. I'm concerned. What's going on? I see some weird things happening. Let me know what's happening. There may be more there, but still a nothing burger. So if they indict him in New York and they indict him in Georgia, that's going to galvanize the base even more. It'll put him in a better position for 2024 than in a worse position. At the same time, it'll be a double-edged sword because people are going to see Trump as a potential liability. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. And even if Trump gets locked up, last time I checked, you had 3 qualifications to become the president. 3 qualifications. What's the first one? 35 years old. The second one, you must be a natural-born U.S. citizen. And the third, you have to have lived in the U.S. for 14 years consecutively. 14 years U.S. consecutively, natural-born U.S. citizen, Barack Obama, and 35 years old. Trump obviously meets all those requirements. You could be a felon. You could be in prison. Don't matter. You could still run and win with any kind of negative background. Now, typically, it doesn't really happen, but you can have a felony on your record, do whatever you want. All it's going to do right now is just galvanize the base. It may preclude some from voting for him, but I think those that will be turned off by this probably are going to go differently anyway. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, hold on. Noel72 says, Secret Service already said no handcuffs and we're not leaving without them. Well, there you go. There you go. Because how are you going to lock up Donald Trump? You're going to put Trump in Rikers Island? You think you're going to do that? Any president, any former president, you're going to put on Rikers Island for real? Really? If Hunter Biden, the president's boy, who was never in public office, who was only known for being in the military and smoking crack, if he has not been locked up, you think they're going to lock Trump up? Really? First of all, that'd be an embarrassment to the whole world. Even if you're not a Trump fan, you don't like Trump, you're never a Trumper, you may hate Trump. That'd be an embarrassment to the whole world. Locking your former presidents up for ticky-tack stuff like that. They would never. That'd be the equivalent of Russia giving Vladimir Putin over to the ICC. You saw the ICC said that they got an arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin. I'm like, okay, and do you think Russia would ever give up Vladimir Putin? They ain't even give up, look, they almost didn't give up a U.S. citizen. And Brittany Griner, you think they're going to give up Vladimir Putin? Man, please, be for real. That'd be the ultimate embarrassment. What's the ICC anyway? If they're not going to lock Hunter Biden up, and he was on videotape smoking crack. Not only did they not lock Hunter Biden up, you had over 50 quote-unquote intelligence officials sign a letter saying that the tape that clearly showed him smoking crack, he was clearly on tape getting high, beaming the Scotty, getting geeked up. He was clearly on the tape doing that. They said that's not him. That's Russian information. That's Russian misinformation. It came from Belarus. It came from Moscow. It came from somewhere in Eastern Europe. That's not him on the tape smoking crack. And then they came out later and said, yeah, it is him. He was on TV talking about, hey, I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's me. If they were to ask me, hey, ABL, is that you on a tape smoking crack? I'm going to say no. I have never smoked crack before in my life. I don't do cocaine. I don't do crack. Crack is whack. That's not me. What did he say? I don't know. I don't. An embarrassment. Point being, if they don't lock Hunter Biden up for smoking crack on tape, had the gun under false pretenses, lied on the background check, had the gun under false pretenses, waving it around in the video, toss it away behind a school somewhere. If he will not even get sent to the joint at all, then why would Trump get arrested? Then why would Trump go to the penitentiary? Why would Trump get sent to Rikers Island? It'll never. If that happens, it's over with. If that happens, if Trump gets arrested, if Trump goes to Rikers, which again would never happen, but if it did, you have to arrest Hunter immediately. Immediately. You have to. Because it'd be a clear double standard. Clearly. Matter of fact, you got to arrest Joe as well. You got to arrest Joe. You got to arrest Hunter. You got to arrest all these people. All these campaign finance, law violence. Arrest Ilhan Omar for getting married to the guy that was her chief campaign. 70% of the money she got from her campaign went to one guy, Tim Mynett. And then she marries Tim Mynett. So Tim Mynett is no more than a vessel upon which she can just funnel her campaign money through. There's no reason for her to actually campaign. She's going to win in her district. It's pretty much Somalia. They love her. They know her. There's no point in campaigning. She'll get 80-90% of the vote every time anyway. So when she gets money from all over the country for being very popular, being part of the squad, she can't spend the money directly, legitimately, but she can give the money to a consultant, to a campaign person, help her out with the campaign. So if she gives 80% of the money to a campaign person and that guy is her husband, they can just take that money from his account and put it right in their household as expenses, living expenses, whatever they want, trip expenses, do whatever they want to do, and it's totally fine. People are crazy. Same thing with Maxine Waters, giving a bunch of her campaign money she doesn't need. She's like 1,000 years old, won't lose in her district. There's nobody that can really defeat her at all that ever runs. All that campaign money goes to her daughter or her son or whoever she wants to give it to. And make them millionaires from doing nothing, from printing out flyers and posters. Now, I've done that before. I printed out flyers and posters, and I was nowhere near a millionaire. But somehow her daughter is. It's ridiculous. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Oh, and speaking about Joe and Hunter, didn't they say that a CCP businessman was giving them money? Like, what happened? A bunch of the Joe Biden family got money from CCP. I know I'm saying that wrong, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Where's the arrest for that? Where is the indictment for that? Where is the warning that you're going to get arrested by X, Y, and Z DA or the federales? Where is that happening? Oh, where's Fetterman? Hey, man, Fetterman, I don't know. Fetterman might be in heaven right now. I don't know where Fetterman is at. Fetterman's done. Fetterman's not going to come back. If Fetterman's already hospitalized for like 2 months, talking about, first of all, they said he had a mini stroke, allegedly. Then they said that he had depression, and he's been back-to-back hospitalized already. Like, he gets inaugurated and then goes right to the hospital. That's a bad sign. He's not coming back. He's done. He'll probably go ahead and just pass away. Unfortunately, either he'll pass away or he'll retire, and then he may pass a little bit later after that. All right, so that's just kind of what it is. Yeah, Mitch McConnell, he's pretty much done too. How old is he anyway, Mitch McConnell, that is? Mitch McConnell got to be about 85, 80, 85. Hold on, how old is he? 81? Yeah, just turned 81 in February. I mean, he's pretty much done too. Senate GOP communicating with Mitch McConnell post-fall and concussion as physical rehab continues. Yeah, he's done. These politicians are way too old to still be in office. Mitch McConnell, who else? Your man, John Fetterman, Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein. They're too old. I'm no ageist, but good grief. How are you going to be 100 years old in Congress? At a certain point, can't you retire? It's weird. We're talking about the retirement age going to 64 in France, and that is causing widespread chaos and panic and riots. But these people are in Congress until they're 100 years old. Why? All right, so the poll question is, do you think Trump will be arrested? A lot of you guys voted on that already. I'm going to end it in a moment here. You guys can do your last little votes on that and let me know where you think. Do you think Trump will be arrested? Give me your opinion about that. Yeah, again, I'm no ageist, but I mean, go ahead and retire, man. Same thing with Joe. And to be honest with you, Trump is up there in age as well. Trump will be 78 in 2024, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. He'll be 78 in 2024. He'll be 77 on June of this year. And then by June of next year, he'll be 78. So, but he's still pretty spry for his age. But people like John Fetterman obviously is not old, but he's just not really sound of mind. And Mitch McConnell, like, you got people that got injuries, like legitimate injuries. You done fall and you done broke your hip and you had a stroke and all kind of stuff. It's like, at a certain point, you're not going to really be able to get beyond that. If you're a young person, you have an accident, you're able to kind of rehab and get better. But 85 years old, it's like, it's time to retire. Trump got spunked. What you got? Anyway, I don't want to go down that road. Shout out to Mr. Color Purple. All right. Thank you, Basic Flowers. Basic Flowers says, your opening on the first Paul Pelosi video was hilarious. This guy has some serious explaining to do. Exactly. Some serious explaining to do. The whole Paul Pelosi thing was crazy. That story was all kind of way twisted from the very beginning. All right, let me end the poll right here. So you guys do not think Trump will be arrested. Okay, so pretty interesting to see the votes right there. The majority think he won't be arrested, but some will. So pretty good poll right there. 37% said he won't be arrested. 62% said he will be. 37% said he will be arrested, and then the rest say that he would not be arrested. So we'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes. Tuesday, I'm gonna try to stream on Tuesday outside the actual facility. I won't be there. I'll just try to find a stream where they are talking about it, and I will cover the stream. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Super chats on deck. Then I'm gonna get to the calls. I think I missed one story that I could get to, but time is limited. Credit card scam. Yeah. So basically, in a nutshell, the whole credit card scam thing, if you guys watch social media, if you guys are invested into it and you see these elaborate lifestyles, people going on vacations and trips and all kind of stuff, they got all kind of luxury items on their profile. A lot of that is smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. It's not real. Okay, they went on one trip a few years ago and they took a bunch of pictures from that trip in different places, and then they're posting it for a year or 2 years. You're thinking that they're going all over the place, they're balling out of control, but really it's not that way. It's a certain narrative that's crafted for the consumer to buy into, to believe in. And the story I'm talking about is a girl. She's 19 years old, goes to LaSalle College in Boston or Boston area. She got charged with a $1 million credit card scam. A $1 million credit card scam she was charged with. And she bought all kinds of stuff with the money. She bought a Tesla, paid for it outright, all kind of stuff, trips, clothes, everything else. All the whole time, 19 years old, working in a jewelry store and living in a dorm, literally living in a dorm. A Tesla outside the dorm, a fully paid for Tesla. How? She made it too easy. She was on Instagram posting where she was, talking about, yeah, I'm 19 years old. I got a Tesla paid for in full. What she was doing was at her job at the jewelry store, what she would do is overcharge for items. And then she would refund the overage onto a different credit card, her own credit card or debit card, whatever that was. And she would spend the money from that card to have this elaborate lifestyle. She stole about $1 million. Now, first of all, I don't know how she got that much money and was able to not be seen. Like, shout out to the accountants at that job, not doing their job at all. It's like, what are we doing? The moral of the story is, do not believe what you see on social media. You go to Instagram and see these lifestyle posts, these lifestyle influencers. It ain't really what you think. Sometimes it could be. You can have these really rich guys, Grant Cardone or whatever, but it's not like that all the time. You're not really seeing the reality. And if they are rich, if they are famous, you're not seeing the downside. You're not seeing the dark side of what they got to do. Okay? You're not seeing what they did to get here. Because I done heard some stories. I done heard some stuff about certain people and how they got to where they are. You'd be surprised. I'm not surprised anymore. Like when I saw the whole thing, to speak about Sierra right quick, you guys may or may not have seen that. If you've not seen it, don't worry about it. But basically, NFL superstar Russell Wilson, he is married to a singer by the name of Sierra. Sierra wore this really sheer outfit that was pretty much see-through. You can see everything at the Oscars after party. It's been a big thing on social media everywhere. And people talking about that a lot. And people are saying, oh, I'm so appalled. She's a Christian. How dare she? I'm shocked. I'm not even surprised. That does not surprise me. That is nothing to me. I've seen that a million times over from so-called religious people, whether they be Christian, Islamic, Jewish. It's nothing to me. I've seen that before. And the reason why I say that, back to my point, is a lot of what you see on social media, you don't know the real story behind it. I know a lot of these stories because of who I am. I get a lot of people that tell me things. I get a lot of stories. You'd be shocked. A lot of people that are on social media, not even in the political space, other spaces that I know about, you'd be shocked, but I'm not. So don't believe whatever you see on social media. Believe what you see in your everyday life. Believe that. Oh, one more thing. Trump said to protest as a result of what's happening right here. Don't. What's going to happen is the federales want there to be another January 6th. They're going to be out there stoking it. Remember when Gretchen Whitmer allegedly was going to get kidnapped? The federales stoked that. 90% of those that were involved were feds. Either they worked for the feds, like they had a badge and a gun and everything, federal officers, or they were federal informants. Only 2 of the 18 guys were normies. If you go to a protest, they're going to try to recreate January 6th to keep that narrative going. If January 6th was a one-time thing, we can say, you know what, that wasn't us, that was the feds, which is correct. It wasn't us, it was the feds mostly. Some of us, but not really. Ray Epps, all these guys glowing. But if it happens again, what are we going to say? What are they going to say? Oh, that's just MAGA Trump supporters. It just feeds their narrative. Don't do it. Don't become cannon fodder. But I digress. Super chats on deck. Then we're going to get to the call. So the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. I'll get to the calls in just a moment. Y'all please hang tight for me. Let me make sure I got all my super chats on deck. And we're going to keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And where we at? All right. Shout out to KTS. KT. I'm going to just call you KT. How about that? Who says the woke clown world in one sentence. Empty ideological platitude, virtue signaling superficiality over character with endless social program, oppression, Olympics, and gender ideology. There we go. That could have turned to 1804 who says ABL is a woman. Wait, no, freak out? Amazing. Impossible levels of self-control. There you go. That could to J Incognito user who says, yo, if I look like a ghost from genders past, I want to delete my data too, honey. Thanks, ABL. You're great. Thank you for that. Great quote there. Thank you to Sienna who says, and if I said that wrong, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Sienna who says, what are your thoughts on the San Francisco reparations bill? That's a good question. I think that bill is just them talking about things they're not going to do. It's a way to make Gavin Newsom look good because when he runs for president, which he will run, they will list that as part of his legacy. We propose reparations. We said we're going to give black folks X amount of money. It's all that it is. It's promises that won't be kept. They've done this over and over again. It's become a pattern at this point, but people believe in it. They think that it will happen, but it won't happen. And because the things are ridiculous, $5 million for each person, each black person, $100,000 a year for 250 years per person. What else? Houses for $1. Ridiculous stuff. If it was more realistic, like 10 grand, 20 grand, I'm not saying I would support that, but the fact that these things are so ridiculous, so just pie in the sky, lets me know that it won't happen. It's just a way for them to dangle a carrot in front of us, say, hey, we're promising you this, we're promising you that. And then by way of the promise that satisfies the white guilt people and also satisfies those who would vote for Newsom for president in 2024. That's a feather in his hat, although it's not going to be accomplished by just recommending it, by just saying it, by just supporting it. That's enough. They always do that. Same thing Joe Biden did. Didn't he say, hey, we're going to cancel your student loan debt? He said that as a campaign promise. Have we had that happen? Nope. It's a campaign promise, but it's not meant to actually be filled. Thank you to No White Guilt, who says ABL is rocking it tonight. Thank you for that. Thank you to Cal Denson, who says Uber provides upfront details to the driver. He had no excuses for that. She should have canceled and contacted them. Yeah, I believe. I'm right there with you. Thank you to Zeroch's Cane Sword, who says gifted 5. Oh, you gifted some memberships. I appreciate you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you to Siana again, who says the thing they have in common is they are white. To be a group that is not part of oppressors, you need to be marginalized. I'm not quite sure what that was referring to, but thank you for that. Thank you to Hot Pocket, who says they just want to mess Trump's hair up in the mugshot. Oh, it better not be a mugshot. It better not be a mugshot. Nothing like that going on. Thank you to S4, who says, I said this earlier here and there, but don't go to New York or protest. It's a setup. Yes, don't do it. Do not protest. It won't be anything other than a setup. The feds will be there. There will be Antifa there. There will be professional provocateurs there to get you caught up in a situation. They're going to be out there acting the fool, carrying on. Let them go to jail. You don't go to jail. Matter of fact, the guys that are going to be out there really instigating it won't go to jail, Ray Epps. But you will if you get caught up in it. You could be out there minding your business, not even involved with the nonsense. They spot you there. Oh, you're a Trump supporter? Where'd you come from? You came from Kansas City, Kansas? All right, well, you're getting locked up. Interstate travel, whatever, ticky-tack BS charges. But those that are going to be out there protesting for real, the actual federal informants, the federal agents won't go to jail because they're doing their job. You're not. Well, you are doing your job. Your job is to be the cannon fodder, to be a political pawn used against Trump and everybody else on the right in 2024. So don't do it to yourself. And ask yourself this, those that were at the January 6th protest, have they been helped out financially by your man? I digress. Thank you to JP Irvine, who says, hi, ABL, great job that you're doing, but I'd like to hear your opinion on this. Could this be a preemptive strike by Trump? Maybe he's playing them now. How is he playing them if they're going to arrest him? I'm not sure how he has any control over it. I don't think so. Thank you to Bina, who says, bad move by the Democrats. If this happens, Trump wins 2024. Thank you to a Republic Insurance Suggesting, who says, what happened to the story about Biden and classified documents? That story disappeared. Hey, and they keep finding more and more documents. They keep finding more and more documents, but all of a sudden it's gone. The story was popular when they were talking about Trump and the documents, but now that Biden has all documents about him, the story's dead now. So anyway, and you guys in the chat, please do not spam the same thing over and over. What's up, man? I'm talking to you. If you're spamming in the chat, I will block you. Please don't do it. Thank you to Nick Corio, who says, hello, my dear friend, with the deer emojis. Thank you to Love Win 3022, who says, what if they recreate January 6th, but with Mexicans? Good luck with that. Thank you to the wealthy broke man, who says, thanks, ABL, for making our voices heard. And no problem, man. I got you, boss. Thank you to Justice King Sword, who says, oh, some more memberships. Appreciate you for that. And thank you to Papa Snuffy, who says, I want reparations for the stolen elections. Well, good luck with that. But let's go ahead and get straight into the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. The number is right there in the description. Also right there in the ticker. You can see right below me, 434-658-1220. There's also a Skype email if you want to use that to call in on video or on audio. Be right here bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Let's get straight into it. All right. So, yeah, don't go out there and protest in New York. Don't do it. Just hang out. Watch it. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to get the stream and watch right here with you guys. So we don't have to go out there, act the fool, carry on. We could just do what we want to do. All right. So hopefully Skype working right. Hopefully Skype is working right quick. If Skype's not working, you know what we got to do? We got to change it. Is there a Zoom link? There's no Zoom link, but there's an email. in the description box, and you can use that to call in through Skype. So it's similar, I suppose, but let's just get Skype working first. And you guys know Skype wants to do its own thing. Skype has a mind of its own. It might not even work tonight. We'll see. All right. And the number to call, you guys see it right there in the description, 434-658-1220. Yeah, Trump did call for protests, but don't protest. Don't do it. Because we know what's going to happen. You're going to have people that should not be involved in the mix. All right, let's make it to Skype caller.
Hey, this is Jason, No White Guilt. How we doing, brother?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Oh, man, great show tonight. I got to tell you, this part about the kid, whether it's a boy or a girl or what it is, I don't know. He's screaming at the old man. Was it the father or was it the grandfather?
That was the father.
That was the father. All right. Well, I have the same exact sentiments. I mean, my father was a real man. And there was no talking back. You had to see either yes, sir, no, sir, or yes, dad, no, dad. That was the way you had to talk to him. And he just earned that respect. And I think so much of what we miss these days, especially with our young men, is that the father is not really a man anymore. Men have been made so wussified, if you will. And society doesn't support men in the West today. All they do is they rag on men, they slander men, they say that being a man is poisonous and evil and etc. And so, but it's even for both though. The parents, the entire parents, are robbed of authority. I think we see a lot of this single mother phenomenon where when mothers don't have fathers around, they become very permissive. And when married mothers don't have a man around in their husband, they become permissive mothers. And the children then get to do whatever they want. And it's just like, any animal. I believe we have souls, but we're still in an animal body. It's just like any animal. If you let that animal, like a dog, you let it do whatever it wants when it's a puppy, it will grow up to dominate you. It'll grow up to bite your neighbors. And childhood is ultimately training for adulthood. So I think all of those of us who ended up being disciplined, respectful, functioning members of society, we grew up in structure when we were young. And these others, excluding any that might have some sort of genetic ailment or something else going on, they grew up in environments that were very permissive. Is he or she okay? Are they feeling equal enough today? Are they feeling good enough about themselves today? Instead of, here's the structure, here's the way of the world, here's how you can get ahead. Ultimately, these mothers, whether they are married single mothers because the male is not a man, or whether there isn't a man present, or there's a revolving door of men, even worse, coming through the household. Ultimately, they're doing the biggest disservice to that child that they are just giving everything away to, this being as permissive as they possibly can. And it's a disservice to society because, ABL, you perfectly said when you said that they eventually end up having hands put on them outside of the house. Eventually, it's going to be law enforcement. Eventually, it's going to be somebody else who's tougher, meaner, and is not going to put up with what they're putting out. Somebody else who was treated maybe permissively. But, the other thing I'll just say quick, and we'll get on to the rest of the callers because you always have great calls, is this idea that is promulgated in Western civilization, and we see it strongly here in the United States, that children always rebel. They always just want to destroy what went before. And I think that's a lie. I think that children have an energy to want to emulate what went before. And by emulate, I mean to draw a distinction between imitate and emulate. Emulate is to do what has been done but go beyond, to build better. If we actually had this phenomenon of children just wanting to destroy what went before, we'd never have built any civilization, because they would just, every next generation would just tear down everything that had been built before. They were told this, and then we see it in children, because children go to school and they turn on the entertainment media, and they're told from dawn till dusk that everything that their elders have done, especially us white kids out there with our white parents, we're told that everything that our parents have done before us has been wrong and evil and harmed the world and harms everybody in the past, harms everybody today, and that we have to destroy it. Parents then, especially white parents, I can speak from that experience, they then take a hands off of, well, they're supposed to want to destroy everything. We're told that they're supposed to want to rebel. Folks, I'm going to recommend those of us who grew up in structure and who had good parents, part of that process that made them good and made us productive members of society is, and happy with our lives, I guess, is that the parents intervened in that education, that so-called education, that miseducation about how everything that went before is evil and needs to be destroyed. The parents intervened. So my suggestion is, don't take this advice from the state that you need to have a hands-off, and let that 5-year-old, let that 7-year-old become whatever he or she just wants to believe they might be able to be in the world. Because we saw that argument has been used since our grandparents, at least. And now, coming to logical conclusion, they're telling us, well, he's 3 or 4, can decide whether he's a little boy or a little girl. But great show, ABL. Love listening, brother. And I will pass it back. I'll jump off and listen to whatever you have to say in the next callers.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
All righty. Great call. Number to call might be working a little bit improperly, because what I did with my number, it actually lapsed. Because remember, a few months back, the number didn't work. Remember that? And I had to go to the Google voice number. But I fixed the number, but I had taken the auto pay off, so I had to go pay it again. And it might work, it might not work. We're going to see. But I didn't get banned from the number. I just forgot to keep the auto pay on. I think it's working now. I'm getting some regular voice calls to come in. So you guys just hang tight on that. All right, Scott caller, who am I speaking to?
Greetings, 'tis Laura the Goddess. From Here's What I Heard. How are you?
Everything's all right. About yourself?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for taking my call.
No problem.
I actually called in because you were talking about, was it Angela Davis?
Yes, Angela Davis. She found out she was a descendant of the Mayflower.
I watched that the other day, and I thought to myself, what a coincidence, what a small world, because I actually have the exact same ancestry, except for one thing. My ancestors didn't have any slaves.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. So you guys, could you be cousins, or like, what's going on?
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is before my sister died, she was our genealogist, and she found out that we not only came over we weren't on the actual Mayflower, but the Mayflower wasn't the only ship that came over at that time. There were 3 or 4 of them. So we were on one of those ones that was with the Mayflower at the time, but we're also daughters of the Revolution.
Wow. Wow.
It blew my mind when I found out that Angela Davis was almost the same as me. I was like, wow. I'm thinking about making a video about it, because I mean, just look at how much we have in common, even though she probably hates me.
Hey, you know what? You could try to trace one of her family members or somebody and see if you guys have any common ancestors. It could happen.
Well, I do know that we were, like you were talking about earlier, we were the white trash.
Yeah,
In fact, my grandfather, my actual grandfather, that really close, I even knew him. He was he was either illegitimate or one of the family members. Something happened where he was actually in foster care. He was literally a slave himself, growing up.
Yep.
So yeah, we were the white trash ones. But it blew my mind, and I thought, wow, me and Angela Davis have the same. They might have known each other, our ancestors and stuff.
Probably did. May come from the same town, same place, could be related. You never know. It's a very small world.
Very, very. So yeah, I just wanted to say, and of course, I want to say hello to everyone out in the chats. Hello, everyone, and please do what everybody is saying. And in fact, everyone is saying this about the Trump protests. Don't do it. It's a setup. It's a setup. They can't wait because I mean, January 6th is pretty much like gone. I mean, they've been proven wrong. They've been proven that they are liars and all that and everything like that now. So they're going to do anything in their power. And I think they're going to go ahead and arrest them. They want to do the perp walk.
Yeah, they want that very bad. They want it bad.
In fact, I did a video about that today because I read about it while I was doing my show on Thursday. And I thought, oh my God, because it was breaking news on Thursday. And I thought, oh my goodness, so let's do a video about it. And it's still not going to keep him from being president. I know that they're all going, yay, we're good. We finally going to see him in handcuffs. We hate him. But that doesn't stop him from being president. In fact, someone's already set a precedent for that.
Oh yeah.
You know that the the Tiger King has actually has thrown his hat in the ring already.
Oh wow, interesting.
So yeah, there's already a precedent set for that too. So I think these lefties might actually be quite disappointed they might see him in handcuffs, but it's not going to be what they think it is, I don't think. But don't go out there and protest. They're going to do anything that they possibly can to make us look bad. They'll probably try to set us up. That's why they're trying to, I'm not real sure why Trump said that. Now I know his theme is take America back and everything like that, but you can protest in many different ways to where the FBI doesn't mess with you. If you have to do a video, share someone else's video about it, just let everybody know what's going on if you can. That's the best thing we can do.
Right on. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much again for taking my phone call. You have a great weekend.
Thank you for the call. Now I appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. And you guys on the drill, the number to call is 434-658-1220. There's a Skype email in the description if you're able to use that. It might be a little hard to come in tonight because I had to repay for my number. Long story, but you guys just keep on trying. All right, Tariq, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, ABL, man? I think Trump should be saying what you're saying and not to protest because things, I think one of the criticisms I have with Trump is that I feel like he doesn't learn from history. And he's got to understand at this point, the media is against him. And, we all know what this is about. This is to stop this man from running and embarrassing. And to me, this an abuse of power, man. And of course they got some liberal black woman who's it's just emotional. Her whole thing is to go after Trump, man. And to me, it's embarrassing that we have members of our community who is still so emotionally distressed about Trump. I mean, it's like this man doesn't even do anything. And if I was this woman's husband, I would be embarrassed because I'm like, why are you putting all this energy into another man? It's just silly. But we know this is the liberals' playbook. They don't play by the rules. They're not going to be fair. They're going to use whatever they can to shut us down. And with Trump, they are being very aggressive towards them to get the base brought up. I totally agree. From the time he was president, they impeached him twice over BS. That wasn't a very aggressive thing to get the base riled up. This whole Russiagate thing, which was fake from the start, which was BS from the start, no proof, no nothing, but sat there and had an internal investigation with the media lying about it. And of course it comes to be fake. But and then to January 6th, which to be honest, you're absolutely right. I think what Trump messed up was announcing a date because I'm pretty sure that the liberals and the rhinos and the corrupt people in his cabinet was like, yes, how can we screw this up? Like they were not afraid of that. They were excited about that. So yeah, we know what this is. And conservatives, we got to start playing hardball, man. Like I want to see Hunter Biden go to jail. I want to see Joe Biden, something happen to a Democrat. And we're going to have to get some real American first people in the Congress. If Trump gets elected, fire Christopher Wray immediately. We don't need no more rhinos over the FBI. In fact, it was under Trump's FBI, and I'm not going to blame him. It was that Rhino Christopher Wray, but it was under him where they were. The whole Twitter files was happening, and they're censoring conservatives. Just think about it, ABL. You have a Republican president. Why in the world is the FBI? You at least think the FBI is just going to be a little bit biased towards the president? No, they are censoring conservatives. So rhinos are a major problem. But this also shows that we are on the right side of history because we got the rhinos upset with us and we got the liberals upset with us. Good, because we got to clean both of them out. And the one thing I'm gonna say about liberals, man, these people are so weak. When you watch their channels like Kyle Kalinske or TYT, these clowns think that they have like some type of progressive candidate like a Bernie Sanders or Marianne Williams. They are never going to win. You know why? They are weak. They will never fight against their own party. And the voter base is stupid because what the liberals do is you had a candidate called Bernie Sanders who supposedly, quote unquote, stood for all y'all's progressive values. But then then these clowns, when it comes to vote, they're so stupid. You go and you vote against your interests. You vote for whatever the mainstream Democrat Liberal Party tells you to vote for, which was Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. And then you got the people who was going to vote for Bernie now see Bernie get cheated and then go vote for Hillary Clinton or Biden. So progressives, they don't ever have a champion. None of them is against censorship. None of them is against any of these wars. The one thing I have to commend the Trump supporters is DeSantis is now talking about scaling back sending U.S. military to Ukraine, which is good. That means that the Trump base is more awake. They don't care about the media, but the liberal base is so stupid. And, as much as they talk about socialism, free healthcare, free college, you're not going to get none of that when you have a country who has an empire who is over here sending millions of dollars of foreign aid to other countries, who has a wide open border. It's never going to happen. So, yeah, man, one thing I can say is don't protest. And if Trump runs, I hope we be hard on Trump, meaning if you get elected, now that you know what you know, you must get all outsiders. I want an outsider FBI. I want an outsider vice president. We don't need no rhinos in the cabinet if we're going to make this thing work. And that's all I got to say, bro.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, take care.
Very good call. Very, very good call. Can't say no better than myself. All right, the phone line is blowing up. Y'all please hang tight. 412, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, turn some
I
off.
think I must have the wrong number.
No, you good. You good. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this ABL?
Yes, it is. So turn the stream off in the background for me, please.
Okay. Better?
That'll work. So what's happening?
Oh, wow. I'm surprised I actually got through. You caught me off guard there. Yeah, I'm just really excited about all this. With people saying that Trump's going to get arrested. I'm like, believe it when you see it, okay? They've said this 500 friggin' times. I cannot believe that people still keep on believing what is said to them, I mean, and how many times have they said that the dude's going to get arrested or something's going to happen, and nothing ever happens, And it's
Right.
just ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was saying I agree with you.
Yeah, I just want to say I was actually there on January 6th because I showed up believing that was going to be the last time I ever saw the dude talk, And God, there were the reports are totally wrong on how many people were there. I mean, I have never in my life been in a crowd like that. There were times where I was like literally picked up and and I had no choice where I was going because the crowd was so thick. But anyway, at the end of his speech, then we start walking there, and the riot had already started at the Capitol. So I don't know who started it, but it wasn't the people who came to see him speak. and people don't want. I've literally said that to people like MSNBC interviewed me and a bunch of other people. Actually, you know what? That show showed up on you showed that on your show, and you kind of laughed at something I said where I said, well, that was actually a fiery and mostly peaceful protest, except that there was no fire. And I'm just so sick of people bringing up January 6th after everything else everybody else has done on the left. They literally burned places down and killed people, for Christ's sake, and everyone's like, oh, January 6th is the worst thing. Well, you know what? This tells me that if you're going to slap somebody, they're going to get you, they're going to throw the book at you. So you might as well just do whatever the hell you want. That's what it tells me, that might makes right in this country, unfortunately, because they don't give a damn about, there's no justice system in this country. There's no reason those poor J6 people should still be in jail. That's all I think.
Right. I understand. It makes sense to me.
Okay. Well, I guess that's all I had to say.
Well, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Have a good day.
All right, now. All right. Shout out to the caller. Good call. And you guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. Let's go to 678. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Sub-Zero 3639. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? Long time.
A long time, man. They terminated my channel, bro. I kept getting flagged. I was talking about the election and what happened in November. I can't even say it on your channel or they'll flag this video. So I just, one thing I see going on right now, ABL, this Ron DeSantis stuff has me concerned. I like DeSantis, but I feel like the guy they're throwing the kitchen sink at is Donald Trump. And to me, I've just basically everything that the media has told us in the past, I feel like we should have went the opposite. From the vid that came out of China, they said it wasn't out of China. They said the vax, all these different things they've said, Russian collusion. Everything has been a lie, right? The CDC is now coming out. Everybody's saying, oh, well, even this whole thing about the dying suddenly, right? That we can't say the exact reason why, but we know why people are dropping dead. They stopped tracking that. There's a system of adverse reactions to vaccinations that they completely deactivated in 2021. So we don't have a way of really tracking how many people are really dying from this. I mean, it's just a lot of evil stuff going on. And so I honestly think they're hitting Donald Trump with everything they can because he's good for America. And I said the last time I was on here, I think he's the greatest president we ever had. That's my personal opinion. Yeah, yes, he has flaws. Yes, he has a temper. Yes, he does things that, but at the end of the day, Donald Trump actually is a person that really cares he really does care about the country. I believe what he says when he says what he says about America. And I think, I don't think he really lost. I don't think he lost. I think this man didn't campaign for the last 6 weeks of the election. He didn't even campaign, didn't leave his basement. He had that Freudian slip the day before the election. I have a vast network of fraud set up. Then he caught himself. I was like, what does he mean? And I live in Atlanta, man, and they came and knocked on my door the day after the election. And the guy is a white liberal talking about he's with Stacey Abrams. He's here to make sure you got your ballot correct. This is literally what he said. So Stacey Abrams was collecting votes the day after the election, right here in the God, right here in Georgia. And when I say something, what really pisses me off is when I see conservatives or so-called Republicans say, well, he lost. I'm like, bro, you can't tell me the statistical anomaly. This dude underperformed. Hillary Clinton outperformed him in every major metropolitan area except the 4 where it took 2 weeks to count the votes. And we can't see this as just basic, the man, he's a security risk on top of that. I mean, the man is hooked in with China. This is, man, look, I'm looking at other countries to move to. I just, if you're not going to fight If we're in a fight and you're not gonna throw a punch, then I'm leaving. Like if people want to really save America, then I think you have to do what needs to be done. And if you can't do that, because most Americans don't trust the media, and so at this juncture, I'm angry. I'm still mad about 2020. Just to be straight up with you, I'm still pissed off about what happened in 2020. I think Donald Trump got railroaded, and I think they came up with this whole January 6th fraud. They had the video. Now they know that was a lie. You know, we knew that. I knew the instant it happened. I was like, yeah, I don't blame them. Somebody need to overthrow Washington. I hate to say that. I'm not condoning violence, but look, man, it's like, when are we going to sit here? And this is where I'm kind of going with. I think the conservatives are going to always lose. Number one, because the Democrats are always counting the votes. And if somebody believes that a child can be killed 5 minutes before they come through the birth canal, you mean to tell me a person that thinks like that won't cheat on an election? I think it's clear that you lack morals and values, and I'm either for the country seceding from the union and not being in the country with these people. I had a video yesterday. I was live. A dude tried to come in there and defend trans people going after children, literally. And I'm like, man, I don't want to even live. I don't want to have my children around you. I don't want to go to the store and see you at the grocery store. I don't have nothing to do with you. I wish we could just separate this country and just let them have it. Let them go, because we know they're going to the toilet. But let's just let it go, man, because I'm tired. I'm tired of, like, I feel like, you know, and a lot of people are just too slow to see. And look, I like DeSantis, but he's a smokescreen. I'm sorry. They're going to use him to nullify Trump. That's what they're going to do. Then when Trump, if they succeed with that, all of a sudden, they're going to muddy up, run DeSantis, and we're going to get another 4 years of a Democrat, because they're going to count the votes. And after all we saw in 2020, that should have been fixed, but it still hasn't been fixed. See what I'm saying? And the Republicans don't want to fight. They called it, the Republican National Committee calls me all the time asking me to make donations, and I drill them. But man, why am I going to make donations? You guys don't want to fight. Y'all turned on Trump in the midterms. And 200 and some odd people of his, 200 of his candidates got in, but just because 6 or 7 of them didn't, oh, this was a referendum on Donald Trump. No, it wasn't. Most everybody he endorsed got in. But the Republicans, a lot of them were too slow, specifically a few creators, I'm not going to say no names, that want to go at Trump and they're pro DeSantis. I'm like, look, that's what they want you to do. Go after the guy that was talking about lowering capital gains, that was doing stuff we've never seen a president do, right? Go after the guy who had an impeccable record, right? In the economy, everything. Go after him. I'm like, look, I don't care if he says something, even if he says something mean on Twitter, who cares? The thing is, we need a president that's for the people. And if we're not going to get that, and if the Republicans don't want to fight, they'd rather lose elections than get Trump people in, then it's over, because it's a uniparty anyway. It's the Republicans, it's the Democrats, which is really the same party, and then everybody that really is populist pro-America. That's what we are, ABL. And I'm frustrated. I have a little 7-year-old son. I'm married now. I got a 7-year-old. You know, when I first came on this space, I was single. You know what I'm saying? But you know, now I'm like, man, I got to worry about his future. I got to worry about, you know, is this country going to be getting invaded by the Chinese or the Russians? You know, because I feel like that's where I think even this whole balloon stuff, like, that was a deal made. The whole Afghanistan stuff. We got paperwork. This man has been making deals, enriching himself. This man just literally, he has no morals, no values. I'm sorry. I don't respect anybody that calls himself a Democrat. This guy was the president the other day saying that it's sinful to stop people from going in the classroom talking about what they do in the bedroom with little toddlers. This is where the Democrat Party has gone, in the trash. I don't want to be around people like that. Because see, for me, is if I say what I really feel, then it's, oh, you're ushering in violence. No, but I feel like parents should have a right. If you come and you do that to my child, I'm probably going to jail. If I find out that you in the school pushing that on my child, I believe parents should, you say don't curse, but I believe parents should have the ability to do whatever they need to do to defend their children. And
Right.
that's where I'm at. And I don't think the government should be able to infringe on that. I just, man, I'm still frustrated, bro, from 2020. I never healed from that. I'm still mad about that. I think they stole that, and that's really why we are where we are. That's really the truth. And as far as this whole thing, let me say this, and I know because I know I'm long-winded. Let me say this, ABL. This whole thing about Donald Trump being in office, I think Candace Owens went at him and was like, well, aren't you going to take responsibility? Let me explain something. Donald Trump is not he's not a doctor. Donald Trump was in office. There was a pandemic happened. The whole world economy shut down. You just go back and remember what happened. And he said, okay, we're going to try to hurry up and get this done. Why? Because the media was spending all day dragging him, right? It was an election year. And so what they did was Trump was like, hey, let's go ahead and get this out. Then now Candace Owens, because I honestly think she's on board with the Republican establishment. That's just my personal opinion. I think they reached out to her. Let's push for DeSantis, her and a couple other people. And I think they really are trying to get Trump to accept responsibility. I'm like, no, he said it wasn't mandated. As long as it's not mandated, I don't think you should accept responsibility, because that means anybody that's in office should accept responsibility for. And if that's the case, then all these class action lawsuits against people that are killing people from Pfizer, GlaxoSmithKline. I mean, every time you cut your TV on, is have you or a family member died, or have you or a family member got some sort of cancer. So these people they killing people all the time. And so when this got rushed through, I wasn't taking it anyway. I don't care who said it, Trump.
Right.
And as long as it wasn't, the mandate is my problem. That's what I had a problem with. But just trying to get Trump to accept responsibility for something that he has no knowledge of. He's like, look, I made it available. I removed all the red tape. And that's why he's taking credit for that. But the rest of it, trying to blame him for the effects of it, he's not a doctor. You blame Pfizer. You blame GlaxoSmithKline. You blame these big companies. You don't blame the president. That's like me getting mad at the president because he gives you the money to get your car fixed. The mechanic breaks it, and then you want to be mad at the guy that gave you the money. Like, because that's what he did. He made it quick. He removed red tape for them to be able to get the thing pushed through. And so that was that. But look, man, good to hear from you. I know we ain't did our Sunday Rumbles in a while over there with O'Shea. That used to be fun.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir, brother. So congratulations on the marriage. I ain't spoke to you since then. I think last time I spoke to you was right after the 2020 election.
Oh,
but
so it's
anyway,
been,
man.
It's been a while, man. I already got divorced since then.
What?
Yeah, man. But that's the whole story, man. We'll probably talk offline about that one.
But let me one more thing, man. I'm a member of the Black Manosphere meetup.
Okay.
And I don't know if we're trying to reach out to you. It's a bunch of conservatives. We're gonna be in Charlotte next year. We would love to have you there. I'll email you about it. Look for emails from Sub-Zero3639 Live. That's the channel now. It's not Sub-Zero3639 anymore.
Okay, I got you. I'll be on the lookout for that.
All right, bro.
All right.
All right, man. Take care. All right, bye.
All right. Shout out to Sub-Zero. Yeah. Long-winded, but that was a really good call. I wanted him to be able to, get his thoughts out there. He had a good YouTube channel before they nuked it. I used to watch his channel. I was like, yo, I hadn't seen him in a while. I was like, yo, what happened? So now I understand. Okay. The phone lines are blowing up. Y'all please hang tight. I'm going to speak it to 757. You're on the line.
Hey, ABL. This is Easy. How are you?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Not a lot, man. Just hanging out, watching the show. So I got to respectfully disagree with you, man. Like, and this is probably the only thing that we might disagree on. So I just want to start the situation by telling you, I'm not coming at you or anything like that. In terms of showing up for Trump, I don't really think it's a setup, man. Honestly, Trump is the one that's calling for it. Doesn't mean we need to just obey Trump. I don't mean it like that. But it's not like this is a rumor coming up through kind of like how J6 happened. This is him saying, I need your support. And he's really kind of stepped up for us. And I feel like, patriotism, I'm a veteran. Patriotism is not a spectator sport. You can't call yourself a patriot until it's time to do patriot things. And as far as January 6th, I live in Richmond, Virginia. I'm not far. I know plenty of people. I'm not going to confirm or deny whether I was there, but I know plenty of people that went and stayed back. You know, like they helped provide the footprint of support, but in that 45 minutes right before things went south, they saw it. And then they stepped back and they left. And we can all be responsible like that. We don't have to be violent. We don't have to cause problems. But if Antifa can terrorize cities, we can show up. So I understand when people are like, no, don't do it. But so when are you going to do it? Like, when are you going to step up? When it's way too late? Are you going to show your support? I mean, it's probably already too late anyway, but I mean, what do you think about that?
I don't really see the purpose. Like, I don't really see the purpose of doing that, because it's not even about him. It's about the people that are already going to be there, prepare for us to show up. Just like January 6th. I think January 6th was a setup, because you had regular. Yeah, it was a setup, and it's going to be the same thing. And I'm not saying Trump set this up. I'm saying those that want to see us painted in a negative light already set it up. They know we're going to be there, and all they got to do is set out some rabble rousers to go out there and cause problems, and then it'll be blamed on us. It'll make the whole movement look bad, and that's what they're going to do. Like in D.C., I was in D.C. before January 6th, and I was seeing Antifa out there, like here and there.
Right.
So I already knew, like before January 6th happened, I knew they would be there on January 6th. I already knew it. I saw it coming, and it happened. Right. And I see the same thing happening this time. So it's like, if you don't want to get caught up in that, then you shouldn't be there. And also, you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? People that got locked up on January 6th with no help, no support from people that said it was okay to go, is it worth it at the end of it to be locked up as a political prisoner with no help from the outside?
I can tell you this about J6 from experience. I think most people who got arrested / locked up went into the building or were doing something stupid directly outside the building. You see what I'm saying?
Like, but how about Brandon Strzok though? What did Brandon Strzok do to get arrested? Aside from being a popular person,
I'm not.
You see what I'm saying? Brandon Strzok. Now, Brandon Strzok is the guy that started the walkaway movement. He was outside the building the whole time. He never went inside the building. He was out there giving the speech. So he wasn't talking about doing no insightful stuff, engaging in any kind of riots or any kind of thing like that. He was outside peaceful, and he got arrested, and his whole life been turned upside down with no help from the outside, no help from Trump or anybody like that. I'm not saying it's Trump's responsibility to help him, but it's like, hey, if we're going to show up for you and then I get arrested for doing nothing, for being outside the building, not going inside, and I'm in here battling and I have no help from you, why would I go out there again and do the same thing? It doesn't make any sense.
I see it. And listen, I understand people's apprehension. I get it. Maybe it's, it's a setup, or it's the same thing that Jay. The bottom line is that, so is that what we're going to do for the rest, I don't know, of our lives, or until all this is over, whatever that means? Is that what we're going to do? We're just going to cower. We're just going to say no, because things might go south. So I don't want to do that.
But what's the actual point of protesting? What is that going to accomplish though? Like, even if you are able to have no incidents, which is going to be incidents because people are there to try. It's not just you or people that support. Hold on 1 second. I gotta get my thought out. So it's not just us that support the president that want to go out there and so-called protest. It's going to be everybody watching it. People that don't mean the president good, people that don't mean us good, they don't mean the country good, they only want to see the country burn, they're going to be out there too. So it's like, what are we going to gain from that, even if they weren't there, although they are going to be there? If they weren't going to be there, what do we gain by being out there? I don't really see that making the difference. What we got to do is be on the ground locally, get into these offices, get these old people out of here that don't know what's going on. We got to just do things for ourselves that way, rather than protesting and crying and carrying on. That won't get a thing done. That won't get anything accomplished.
So here's my reaction to that, is that you're right about the local piece, right? Like we gotta get in here in school boards and all that kind of stuff, run for local office, or just at least make sure that you're voting appropriately for local office, whatever it is. But, you in, are you in Mississippi? No, not Mississippi. Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you in Tennessee, you don't know what I'm doing in Virginia. I should be doing everything right, like voting, running for office, school boards, all that kind of stuff. You don't know until you turn on the TV and you see a million people that are like-minded like you. They're all patriots. See, that's the problem, is media is controlling everything that we think. We don't know. We don't know what other people across the country are doing unless we show up.
Okay, and we did, but check it out. We did that on January 6th, and how did that work out? Every time you see,
we got suckered. You're right.
So what was the purpose? It was no purpose. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I understand what you're saying. Want to make a point, want to make a difference, but ultimately there was no point. There was no difference. All it did was just hurt us. So it's a fool's errand. It doesn't make any sense. It's illogical.
I don't know. Because for me, the idea of protest, I've been in business all my life, well, outside of the military. For me, protest is marketing. It's to raise awareness. It's to get your ideas out there. It's to show people who don't know that they're not alone. So that's a very important thing. And in terms, I know there's going to be agitators there. And they hijacked January 6th. I watched the whole thing, or some of my friends did. So it was absolutely hijacked. Within 45 minutes, everything was cool. Next thing you know, everybody's pissed off and they're yelling. You hear curse words and everybody's yelling, bad things. You could see that. And I feel like this time when that happens, people in the crowd need to call those people out. Fed, Antifa, and start chanting it. We see you. You're not stopping us.
Well, I got your point. I got your point, but I got to get to a few more calls, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Sure enough. All right, man. Have a good night.
Take care. Yeah. Don't go protest. There's no point. It's purposeless. We did that on January 6th, and what happened? And I knew that was going to happen on January 6th, too. I called it. I knew it was going to happen. That's why I didn't go. I got invited to go to that. I was like, nah, because I already know it's not a controlled environment. You're going to have all kind of random people there. It's going to be a mess. And exactly what it wound up being. Like, I understand the point about wanting to, but we got to do things that just make sense, man. Just wanting to go out there and be a thrill seeker, be a high chaser. I see no purpose.
I feel like this
What's speaking to 267? You're on the line.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
ABL?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, man? Just having a beer listening to you.
All right.
I wanted to talk about the Trump thing, right? So he's supposed to be arrested in 2 days, right?
Allegedly.
So from what I understand, my understanding of this is that the original Stormy Daniels thing is out of statute of limitations. But they're trying to tag something on it from 2018 that's a felony and claim some kind of exigent circumstances where they could grab him, right?
Yeah.
But what I think they really want to do is a perp wall.
Oh, of course.
They want to televise him in handcuffs. That's what they're looking for, because they can't win the case. You know what I mean? I think that's what they would. They want a perp walk. They want America to see Donald Trump in handcuffs.
Oh, of course. That's the ultimate goal. They want that perp walk. That's the whole purpose. Because
my God, they'd be creaming their jeans if they saw that. You know what I mean?
we got little kids watching. Be careful, Doc.
Oh, I'm sorry. But the whole Brandon Strzok thing, like, why did he cave? He didn't do anything wrong. Why did he plead guilty? I don't care what they threatened him with. The man didn't do anything wrong. Why would you plead guilty?
It doesn't even matter because you're going to get drugged through the mud with the whole court process. So,
right.
Like how much money do you have to be able to fight a court battle? Like the whole thing, it doesn't matter if he pled guilty or not. He was still going to have to go. His life is still turned upside down regardless. His plea was irrelevant to what they were doing. He shouldn't have been charged in the first place. It was a witch hunt from the beginning.
All he did was hold a flag.
Yeah. So
when I saw, he held that Trump flag, right?
Yeah, he didn't actually do anything. So his plea was really irrelevant. They were going to drag him through the mud regardless because it's just a political situation.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm the type of person. If I didn't do something wrong, if the firing squad is the option, I'll take the firing squad. I ain't pleading guilty to nothing I didn't do. Nothing. I'm just not doing
All right,
it.
some people they were some people
I
would say, you know what?
understand.
Some hold on,
people are
caller,
scared.
caller. Some would say, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't want to die. I rather would live, even if it means saying I did a thing that I did not do.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, no, that's how they get you. They scare you.
Well, really, it's not even about being scared. It's about just dragging you through the whole court process and making you spend a bunch of money on lawyers and everything else. That's what they're doing
Yeah.
right now to Trump. If it was a regular person going through this, they couldn't sustain
Right.
it because it costs so much money and so much time.
That's
and
true.
Court
Yeah,
process.
he would have caved.
I
He would
mean,
have caved.
it's not even about caving. It's about even if you fight it, you still, even if you win, you lose. So it doesn't even matter if you say I'm guilty or not. Even if you win, you lose because you don't lost money, time, all of that, reputation.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. You know, I heard you talk. Another guy said he got a channel and they killed his channel. I'm on my third channel now, right? Every strike I've gotten was for election misinformation or COVID, mostly COVID. But yet, I hear Jimmy Dore and who's that British dude? What's his name? He's pretty good. He got like 6 million subs. I can't remember his name. These guys are constantly talking about COVID, vaccines. Nothing happens to them. Me, my little channel, I get a strike every time. That bothers me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Really bothers me. I mean, how am I supposed to grow if I can't talk about the same things that people with millions of subscribers got? You know what I mean?
That's a good question.
It's just very unfair, very frustrating because you don't get your subs back. They don't come back. Some do, but you know. But that's all I got to say. Good talking to you, man.
Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the calls tonight. Great calls. Really, really good calls. Very interesting calls tonight. Shout out to y'all. All right. Let's keep on rocking here. Can we do, hold on. Y'all please hang tight for me. 732, you don't line. Who am I speaking to?
You speak with William.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hey, I hear everybody talking about the Trump thing. I live here in New York, and that area down there, there's nothing but government workers, city workers that work in that area. Right across the street from that jail or the building where they're going to bring Trump is the FBI headquarters. And right on the other side is police headquarters. And right down the street is the mayor's office. And that's a real small area. And I wouldn't advise anyone to go down there. There's a lot of city workers. Like I said, I used to work in that area. A lot of city workers work in that area. And it's a lot of undercover cops, undercover FBI agents. And that's right down there where the Brooklyn Bridge. And that's a very tough area. Very hot. That's all I got to say.
Thank you for your call, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
There you have it. He's down there. He's saying, don't do it. It's super hot. Like, it's like going to a fishbowl. You're asking for it. So you can if you want to, but we're telling you don't do it. So you can heed our warnings or don't. It's up to you. The choice is yours. Excuse me. The choice is yours. You can do what you want. All right. And let's go to. All right. Hold on. Y'all please hang tight for me. The phone lines are going crazy right now. 708, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Poopy poopies.
Okay. That was super random. It's about either you like a young lady or you're about 5 years old. 208, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, this is Mark.
All righty. What's going on?
Well, I'm listening to Anthony's show here, and I just love this guy. I think he hits the nail on the head, and I wanted to give a few comments. I think he's doing a bang-up job, and all the callers have so far. But But I think this is nothing but a distraction with Trump. I mean, it's a distraction. It's obvious it's a distraction. They got to pull the heat off of Fauci, Biden, the Ukraine, and they got to take Trump down at the same time as well. I mean, they just have to.
Yeah, it makes sense. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, because they're, I mean, Fauci, now they've got the Senate hearings going on. It's obvious what Fauci has done. And they're going to expose him and keep exposing him. So the only thing they can do to stave that off, if you notice with the Democrats, every time the Republicans start gaining ground on serious issues, there's always a firestorm somewhere else from them towards some Republican or some disaster. I know that might sound a little bit conspiracy theory, but, like Musk said, we need some more conspiracy theories because the ones we had just came true.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, I just wanted to call in and say that and say appreciate your show. You're spot on with the truth, and I wish we had more like you.
Well, thank you for the call, man. I definitely appreciate you.
You gotcha. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. And the call lines are jamming. All right. Call on ticket to 617.
Hey, what's going on, ABL, man?
It's all good.
How
What's
you
happening?
doing?
It's all good.
Hey, I'm just gonna close with this really quick. I saw your video. I saw the video where the state of California, San Francisco, San Francisco want to pay reparations for African Americans, and then you oppose it. You say it doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. You say all these things, right?
I say quite a few things. I say quite a few things. Go ahead.
Yeah, you say that doesn't make sense, right?
Well, excuse me. My main point that I made was they're not going to do it. It's just lip service. It's not actually going to happen. But go ahead.
Well, okay, it hasn't happened because people don't vote on it. Remember, as an African American, your country counts 0 to the left in this country. So you know that, right?
You said
this thing would.
You said on what now?
African Americans. I included myself as a black person. I just wasn't born here. We are not counted as other ethnic groups will be counted.
What do you mean we're not counted as other ethnic?
Well, I mean, American Indians got the land back. They control and own the land. They got healthcare benefits, educational benefits, housing benefit. They could buy a portion of the home on the Section 104. 20% down payment paid by the bank. I mean, subsidized by the government. Fixed mortgage rate of 2.25%. I mean, that's why we should continue making these payments when they didn't go not even near what black people went through.
So is that on reservation or off reservation?
If you were born, if you are considered to be a Native American Indian, that come from a tribe living in a reservation. It still is a benefit.
So the question was very simple: is it on reservation or off reservation?
No, doesn't have to be living in a reservation. Nope.
Okay, so it could be both. It could be just wherever you want to be in the United States. You could
wherever
just be,
you want to go. Yep,
excuse me,
yep.
you could be Native American and get those same benefits, New York City, right?
Yes, they could go to New York City and apply for this loan.
Okay. Hey, I didn't know that.
A state tuition for free in most states, in a lot of the states. So why is it a problem for you, for African American, to get these benefits?
Well, because I know that it's not going to happen because they keep talking about it.
No.
Excuse me. Because my central point, you asked me the question, I'm giving you the answer. Mm-hmm. My opinion is that it's not going to actually happen because they keep talking about it year after year after year after year, and they never. Excuse me. I'm not done. I'm not finished. They talk about it all the time. I never do it. When you're talking about the whole thing, I'm not finished. I'm not finished. Quiet. Year after year after year after year, they keep talking about it. They don't do it. When it comes to the anti-Asian hate bill, they do that right away. When it comes to things talking about the open border, the border's wide open right away. They do things quickly when they really want to do it. But when it comes to reparations, we're going to do a study. We're going to figure it out. They say the same thing every year, and every year we fall for it. So I'm like, what's the point of keep falling for the same old lie the same old empty promise year after year after year. If you got a dad that's absent and he calling you on the phone, hey, someone come get you, and then you wait by the window, and he'll never come, are you going to keep waiting there until you get to be 80 years old? Or at a certain point, are you going to be like, you know what, he's not coming, and move on with your life? That's my point. Now go ahead.
So who's not, but why is not happening? Because of black people on Congress or white people on Congress?
Because we don't care about it. We keep voting for the Democratic Party. Excuse me. I'm answering your question. You can't keep asking me a question and then cut me off as I answer. So why doesn't that happen? Because we don't care about it as black people. We keep voting for the Democratic Party year after year, and we don't expect anything from them. That's why. Also, because it's ridiculous. It's not going to happen. $5 million per person. How are they going to pay for that? They can't. But they can say things like that because they know that their feet will not be held to the fire. They know we're not going to actually withhold our vote because they don't do a thing like that. They can say it. That's all they got to do is make an empty promise. There's no intention on following through with it, and there's no intention on our end to hold them accountable because we're going to vote for them regardless.
You are second-class citizen. Black people are second-class citizens. Black people are second-class citizens.
Sir, you weren't listening, so you were just talking. You see, because it's funny because when I talk, I can't hear you, and nobody else can hear you. So if you're talking and not listening, you're just doing yourself a disservice. Go ahead.
So you don't want to talk about that. Okay, so let's talk.
Talk about what? I didn't hear you.
Two things I'm gonna go. I just can't stay with the ignorance. Okay, two things I'm gonna go. So do you consider 9/11 victims should get paid until the year 2093?
I don't know about that. Possibly, potentially.
Why they should get paid in the year 2093?
I don't know about how long. Like I said, you said
okay. So
you asked me a question. I said I don't know. You can't say you can't. So you're not listening. You asked me a question. I said I don't know, and then you say why should they get paid? I just said I didn't know. So you're not listening to the responses.
Let me explain. Can I explain?
Explain what? What are you going to explain?
So okay. So let me tell you how important you are not for this country. African Americans are not important. When 9/11 happened, the government paid billions of dollars to 9/11 victims, billions of dollars, plus the fundraising that a lot of nonprofit did for them. It's fine. I'm not against anyone getting paid. I'm all for it that the government should step in when it's wrongdoing, right?
So wait. Are they getting paid because the government did wrong? Like I'm not understanding.
The government failed to protect them.
Failed to protect them. Like what did they do? Like what did the government do?
The government failed to protect them.
Like how? Can you protect against?
The airports are federal. Look, I just don't want to take enough time with this back and forth talking. The government failed to protect them.
But how? Excuse me, sir. How did the government fail to protect 9/11 victims? Can you explain that briefly in 30 seconds?
Okay, so two planes crashed into two planes that they were hijacked.
Quickly, come on, we don't got all night.
Okay, so two planes crashed into the building that were hijacked. Why the government did not stop this before happening? They were failures.
Stopping the hijacking. Stopping the hijacking.
No, I don't want to go to the 9/11 thing. You just read the report. You read
okay, all right.
About the failure.
Well, how about this? Have a nice night.
Okay,
sir. Have a nice night, sir. Have a nice night. Thank you for the call. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, if he wants to say that the government did 9/11, he could say that, and then the government wants to pay reparations, he could say that. Let's just say he wants to say that. I'm not saying he is. I said that if we were going to pay reparations, it should have happened at the end of slavery. You were able to identify who was a slave and who was a slave owner. I said that in the video, but he doesn't listen because he's ignorant like that. Now, how are you going to identify these people hundreds of years later? They're all dead. So his point was ridiculous. We keep on going here. And thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. Let's keep on rocking. Okay. 440, you know, line I'm speaking to.
Hey, ABL. Hold on, let me turn this down.
Okay.
Well, that was quite a caller.
Definitely a call for sure.
I wasn't going to talk about this, but since you brought it up, let me tell you this: if everybody gets $5 million, let's just say that they do, they're not going to be worth $5 million no more. If everybody has $1 million, it's not going to be worth nothing because nobody will work, and basically you're not going to be able to do nothing with it. But that's my just 2 cents. Regarding this Trump and Putin thing, with Trump being arrested and Putin having an arrest warrant, still there?
I'm here, yeah.
This only shows me how desperate they are. They are really, really desperate to try to pull something like this. This is like desperation. And this DA in New York, I think she's young. She just wants to make her bones, if I can say that, like with Trump. Like a big PR, like big brownie points for her.
You mean you mean in Atlanta?
I don't know. Isn't he supposed to be arrested in New York by like an indictment in New York?
Okay, so you said her. The female DA is in Atlanta, but the male Alvin Bragg is in it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But still, and one more thing, the media is really lying to us. I'm watching some Telegram channels regarding the war in Ukraine, and I'm telling you, hundreds of Ukrainians are dying each day. I just saw a video yesterday. You can look it up. I mean, if you know where to look, you'll see like 5 Ukrainians were in like a trench. They were shooting, and a Russian soldier just crawls in and shoots 3 of them, and then captures the other 2. It's going like from bad to worse, and the media is lying, and the Ukrainians are dying like daily, and nobody wants peace. They're all like escalating for war. Trump was the only one that was calling for peace. He broke all their toys, and I think that Trump was put in 2016 as in like a bogus candidate because they were absolutely sure Hillary would win. But him coming in was like a major blow to their establishment and their toys and their plans and everything else. And I don't know. I think the tides are turning, especially in the Netherlands, that the farmers won. The tractor protesters, they ran for parliament and won. But for Trump and Putin, I think they're getting desperate because the world is shifting from a unipolar world to a multipolar world. So ever since Biden came in, he really messed things up like big time. He managed to to drive off all the allies and everybody else. And let me tell you one thing. They put like financial sanctions on Russia. Well, I just heard like these 3 banks have issues. When was the last time you heard a Russian bank go under?
As a matter of fact, they said that they are so cut off from the Western banking system that they're kind of insulated from all the stuff that's going on right now.
Exactly. Trust me, this Trump thing and the Putin thing, they are getting desperate. So I don't know. The guy from like the international court said, well, there have been other leaders that have been arrested. Yeah, but they didn't have like a nuclear button. That's the difference. So, okay, well, let's elect you. Like Stalin said when the Pope was angry at him. Stalin said, how many divisions does the Pope have? Well, you got an arrest warrant, just go and arrest Putin if you can. So, anyway, just to wrap things up, they are getting desperate. That's why you see stupid things like this, like arrest warrant for Putin. They're trying to like arrest Trump for this BS charge. They're getting desperate, and I'm telling you, if this will fail, the next step would be trying to assassinate him. So, I don't know. That's what I think, because they're like super desperate. It's like the last breath of a dying regime, which are like the neocons and the establishment, because people are waking up. So that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Thanks. Bye.
All righty. Let me try. Okay, I got time for one more call, so y'all please just hang tight, hang with me. I'm gonna try to 773. I'm speaking to
ABL. It's your retired Chicago police officer friend.
All righty.
Like any heated ABL Ivan discussion, the cops had to show up. So I'm here. ABL. The thing is, I hope this is not a red herring with Trump, because it doesn't make sense that, New York is trying to arrest them on charges that in New York they would be a misdemeanor. The felony, to upgrade it to a felony, would be the federal government, but, New York is going to arrest them. I think that they might have just put that out there hoping Trump would do what he's doing right now, which is the call for people to protest. Because here's the thing, I've been to countless numbers of protests and riots, and been in the middle of riots. And I would never take anybody's right away for a peaceful protest. But there's a certain element that is drawn to a peaceful protest that every single time turns it into something violent or not good for, society. And that's what happened on January 6th. That's not a good look for Republicans, even though it wasn't all the Republicans' fault. It's a bunch of crazy people with some agitators from the other side to turn a peaceful protest into something it's not. So there were a lot of people that protested, Black Lives Matter and everything else. Some people peacefully protested, but there's always that anarchist element that turns any protest into something that it's not. Even during the 1968 Democratic National Convention here in Chicago, there were a lot of people that peacefully protested, and then there was that anarchy sect that turned it into violence. And I hope that they didn't put up a red herring, because it doesn't seem like they could arrest them. They would love to have a picture of Trump in handcuffs arrested on something legitimate, so they could say, how could you vote for a criminal? But the thing is, I think if you look at it like a chess game, that they might have threw that arrest thing up there, let him know Tuesday you're going to be arrested, knowing that he'll go and ask people to protest, and knowing that every protest, there's a peaceful element to it, but, criminals and anarchists are drawn to things, just like government programs are meant to help people, but then the scam artists come in and draw the money out. Just like when I was the police in neighborhoods, most of the people, even in the worst neighborhoods of Chicago, are good people, but they're held hostage by a handful of idiots that with their violence and with their aggression, they're able to take over the neighborhood and turn it into something it's not. And that's what they want to happen. Let these protests for Trump turn into something that it's not. Make it turn in, and that's the way life is, because they play on human nature. I'll leave it at that, ABL, and thanks for getting me in this week, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Fantastic call. A lot of you guys still trying to call in, but I gotta go. You guys are fantastic. I'll be back live again on Wednesday, so don't you worry. If I couldn't get your call this time, I got you next time. I'll try to my best. And don't blame me for not getting your call. Blame the white man, because it's not my fault. All right. Anyway, thank you guys for being here yet again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you heard throughout the show, if you enjoyed the show, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you listen to me right now on your favorite audio streaming platform, please give me a 5-star rating, a review, whatever you can right there. I'd appreciate you. I got super chats right here to read right quick, but it's only a couple of those. Oh, shout out to the mods. You guys are doing it good. Y'all keeping the trolls in check. Thank you to everybody that's been watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I could not do this show without you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. All right. Thank you to super chats here. Thank you to Kim Jong-un, who says, I want Orange Man back. Well, hot wife. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Per Pill, who says, the caller was right, but you need support. Probably talking about the guy that was protesting, I suppose. Thank you to my man Sub-Zero, who says, enjoyed the call. Appreciate you for that. I look out for your email too, boss. And thank you to the ZXK, a bunch of other letters, who says, Constitution, presidential requirements trumps all federal or state laws. They cannot stop Trump. They sure can't. And that will be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.